Welcome, everyone, to an impromptu episode of Chatting with Nuts, which is number 97. And as you can tell, this is an in-person episode. This is huge.
It is huge. I have traveled so far just for this, for no other reason.
And you're still in the chat trolling me.
Yeah.
Calling me dweeb.
I was trying to do like a false flag kind of scenario.
Imagine being that short and calling me a dweeb. I saw him get out of the car, and I thought he hadn't stood up yet.
When I saw Jimmy for the first time, I asked him how the weather was up there.
He did, actually, which was very old man of you. Yeah. It was not your best quip, yeah. But you were nervous. You know, seeing a guy my stature in person, not something you see often.
I know. You look shorter in the ring.
That's actually true. No, that's actually true.
When I saw you in person, I was like, damn.
Yeah, 6'1" is like pretty average.
Yeah.
In the wrestling business.
Did you ever think about growing your hair out really long and having it constantly be wet when you were wrestling?
Oh yeah. I had hair all the way down to my lower back.
Wow.
In high school.
Wow. Okay.
I also was very obese at that moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I lost 100 pounds and all my hair.
Why is their hair always wet when they wrestle?
So it provides a better look whenever you are being hit. And actually, the key to this, to make it seem wet the entire time, is that you put a little bit of conditioner in your spray bottle.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, because you look at it and just go, like, Roman Reigns, you haven't worked up a sweat yet. What's going on? What's going on? And
well, they're warming up backstage. Yeah. It's a long walk down to the ring, too.
Yeah, okay.
It's the teacher with the baby who always streams with Jimmy. It is not, though I will say you were the first ever, because you were episode 96, not in person. You were the first ever back-to-back episodes on Chatting with Nuts besides Alan.
Wow.
So you're encroaching even more on his territory.
This makes me feel really, really good. Alan, I'm coming for you, man.
Yeah. I mean, you're taking everything he worked for. He just had a second kid. You're having a second kid, though he did steal your kid's name.
That's true.
How did that feel when you found out?
I feel it's flattering. I understand that some people struggle to come up with their own ideas. And so they just look and say, like, what does someone that I respect and admire do? And I liked that. I liked that Alan did that. You know, when I was naming my first son, his name's Theodore, and I was gonna name. I really wanted the middle name John for a few reasons.
Baptist
and
John the Baptist, is that it?
There were a few other kind of associations, but the problem is that there is one very famous Theodore John in American history, and that's Ted Kaczynski.
Old Uncle Ted. Old Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
You know, he went to university just like you, but you weren't an MK Ultra.
No.
Okay. Allegedly. Laura has also met me and says that I am taller than you would expect, which is weird because I guess I've always felt short because I've been around so many people that are taller than me. Derry, whoa, in-person CWN. Yeah, you're the third ever, if you don't count Kelsey, which she lives here. But if you count her, you're fourth.
It'd be weirder if it was remote for you guys.
It would be funnier.
Yeah.
It'd probably feel a little better. But I mean, you're about her height, I think.
That's nice. Not her strength though. So
no, she would whoop you. I mean, just absolutely whoop you. Yeah. By the way, shout out to today's sponsor, which Jared's drinking out of the sponsor cup. We're sponsored by Buc-ee's today. Go get Buck Wild at Buc-ee's. Great, probably the third sponsor we've ever had on this channel, outside of Hims and Blue Chew. But good to see everyone. I know this is going to be one of the ones for the real deep cuts, like the people who really show up, because I announced this 15 minutes ago.
And there's no plan. It was like we were sitting on Jimmy's couch together holding hands. And I said, do you want to do a live stream?
Yeah, he really wanted to come and talk to you all.
Yeah.
Like he was very keen. I was not. I said, I'm good. But he's dying to get in front of camera. I think it's because you're vain.
That's probably it. Yeah. Not a single person recognized me at the airport today, so I needed an ego boost.
Some lady actually did come up to him at the coffee shop. It was very, very weird.
Yeah.
She said, "You're that person on TV." He said, "Yeah, Jared Henderson." "No, Rosie O'Donnell." I thought you left.
I always get Haley Joel Osment.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but it was worse when I, before I lost like 50 pounds. Because the resemblance was a little more dramatic back then.
You have lost a lot of weight, dude.
Yeah. So, but if I had had the long hair and been heavy, Haley Joel Osment would be.
I could kind of see it. And this is so funny to me. I get Whoopi Goldberg all the time. Oh my gosh. How does David Seaworth know? This is kind of creepy because I did take him to the cheesesteak wrap place.
Yeah.
It was good, right?
Yeah, it was very good.
It was very good. It went viral on TikTok the last month. So it's kind of insufferable. And we waited very long for the food. And the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking a lot of takeout orders. There were a lot of takeout orders when we were sitting there.
In and out. Yeah.
Had a very nice, it's a little Italian place, had a very good Sopranos vibe. Me and Jared were talking about lifting VHS players. It's very nice. May Madness says, I feel like I've seen him on YouTube before. What was his channel name again? Jared Henderson.
No, that's the old channel. The new channel is the Library of Alexandria.
Much better. Yeah, Jared's the guy on YouTube who's telling you why everything's bad. He's a very negative person.
That's true. And in fact, actually, the whole conversation that we've been having over and over again since I got here, it's been a little repetitive. It's just been like, Jimmy, did you hear about this bad thing?
That is true, actually.
Jimmy, did you hear about this bad thing? What if I told you that this bad thing was actually older than you thought? And I can explain it to you in 12 minutes.
12 minutes or less.
Tightly scripted.
And then had me sign up for a Nebula subscription.
Sometimes as I walk around, just text animations float by my head.
with this very subtle, like paper rustling sound effects on the transitions. Yeah. I mean, that's what you're kind of known for.
It's tasteful. So.
It is. It feels classy. It feels new age as well. Like that's a good mix to have.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Jared's suitcase was not leather. I mean, if you look at this guy, you would imagine he would have a leather suitcase with like the straps tied down, kind of breaking at the seam. But no, he had a normal suitcase, which was a little disappointing.
Yeah, it's just like a plain hard shell. Actually, it's my wife's suitcase.
Is it?
I don't think I own a suitcase.
Huh.
I always was like someone who had like a really big backpack, and I'd be like, yeah, if I can't fit it in one bag, you know.
You play guitar?
I do play guitar.
You take it to parties?
Not anymore.
I knew it. Little Wonderwall, huh?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played Wonderwall at a party, but
you look like John Denver on bath salts.
I like that one. I like that a lot.
I just love how the Buc-ee's cup is like perfectly like just displaying the logo.
Yeah, we need to widen the aperture, I guess, and like that way it can always be in focus too.
Jared immediately started critiquing my setup, which I thought was quite rude, but it's fine. Haley wants to know what we're reading currently. What are you reading?
I am reading I Who Have Never Known Men. I started reading it on the plane today. I still need to finish The Lions of Al Rasan, but I talked about this last time I was on Chatting with Nuts. I've just been really slow to get back to it because I haven't really been loving it. It just kind of feels a lot like a lot of other GGK that I've read, so I haven't been eager to go back and read more of it. Been also reading a book called The Attention Merchants by Timothy Wu about the history of the attention economy.
Woo!
Might be showing up in a future video
to tell us why something's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And then because I was doing this over on my Substack, jaredhenderson.substack.com, you can subscribe for $8 a month. I'm doing a book club, my read along of Shuangzi, which is the second most important Taoist text.
What's the first?
The Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu.
Where does Left Hand of Darkness sit?
In the Taoist canon, nowhere. But it's just, you know, she now Le Guin has her own translation of the Tao Te Ching as well. Wizard of Earthsea is probably more Taoist in orientation than her other stuff, and also The Dispossessed, I would say, is more Taoist.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so.
I guess Earthsea is. I mean, actually, now that you mention that, I think that's wherever I first started realizing that she was into Taoism.
Yeah. And so that's the main stuff I'm reading. The Attention Merchants, K Fox is really good. It's thick and the chapters are short and they're really readable, and just full of lots of like little great examples of how people have been hijacking your attention for like 150 years.
Which, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially whenever it's more of a global society now.
Yeah.
It's what can capture the most eyes. May Madness said, "God damn, Jared, you are popping. Just checked out your channel."
Yeah.
And then someone said, "Congrats on 600K,"
Yeah.
which, by the way, congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Felt good to hit. At some point, the numbers they're just bigger and bigger. You don't even know. No, but 600K felt really good. I was really happy. Jimmy didn't answer the question though about what he's reading.
Oh, yeah. So first off, Jared actually brought me a copy of I Who Have Never Known Men, which I very much appreciate because it's on my list to read before the end of the year. So that's fantastic.
Wait, can I say something before you finish this?
Yeah.
So I went to a bookstore. I went to Book People in Austin, Texas,
Okay.
to buy, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, I'm going to Book People. And she's like, you don't need more books. Why are you going? I was like, well, I'm going to buy Jimmy and Kelsey a book each as like a gift to thank them for hosting me.
Very kind.
And then my wife did not see this because I was very careful about how I brought the books into the house. I bought 12 books.
That's a book haul.
and 2 of them were for Jimmy and Kelsey.
Well,
I bought 2 Percival Everett books. I bought Erasure and Dr. No.
Okay. Razor's fantastic.
And I'm blanking now. I bought my own copy of I Who Have Never Known Men. What are the other books that I bought? I'd have to think for a minute.
Chainsaw Man?
Not Chainsaw Man. They were all boring lit. Banana Yoshimoto book. I'm trying to read more women in translation. A lot of small presses are doing like a women in translation month thing.
Okay.
So I wanted to read some of her. Got one of those. A few books like that. I almost got a Banana Yoshimoto book for you, but then I went with the I Who Have Never Known Men because I was thinking, the premise of I Who Have Never Known Men is 40 women, which are 39 adults and 1 younger woman, have been trapped in this like prison cell for years, and they don't know why they're there or why they got there. That's the premise. You'll learn that in the first page, so it's not a spoiler. And I just thought, like, Jimmy hates women. I know. I was like, this book seems really sad and devastating, and I can imagine Jimmy doing a review of it where he would say, I hesitate to recommend this to people.
Yeah, that sounds
but
like
I
me.
thought it was really, really great, and it's going to have like keywords. It's going to be like illuminating, devastating women or something underneath, and Kelsey's going to make a really good background for it.
Yeah, Kelsey will definitely make a good background for it. I know it's actually one she wants to read as well.
Okay,
So you kind of killed two people with one stone. I was going to go somewhere else with that, but I just... my God.
And then I got Kelsey Becky Chambers' book.
Yes.
Seeing if she'll like that.
Yeah. I told him to buy romance, and he said he would never support such a genre. So just to let you guys know where he stands.
Yeah.
Which I think is quite rude, but fine. Is Ric Flair in the room with you guys? No, but Skull Knight from Berserk is. It's right over Jared Shore. You can't see him. He weighs like 60 pounds, which is quite a bit. Will Jared make a video about something going right?
I do occasionally, and here's the thing, Tyler Stomes, you're proving my thesis right. Nobody watches them. If I make a positive video, nobody watches them.
It's true.
And it's like, and they're like, why do you only do negative stuff? And I'm like, well, someone's algorithm is tailored towards negativity. Because when I put out a positive video, nobody watches.
Somebody is just dying for a PhD in philosophy that is struggling to be vegan to tell them what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It's what we desire.
Yeah, exactly. So I have, I know the role that I play in this world, right? So I am not a necessarily a feel good channel anymore. But.
So what would that role be if there was an HR of life? Like, what do you think the role would be titled?
Oh, yeah. Chief problem spotter.
Level 2.
Yeah, level 2. Yeah.
It's kind of incredible though. If you go back and look through Jared's like channel, I was telling him I did before he got here, just like looking at his old videos, because I found you years ago. I think you were, I want to say you were like less than 20,000 subs when I first found you. Okay. So because I watched you way before we ever met, like and talked, and it's just funny seeing you kind of find what worked. Mm-hmm. But also like what you were good at.
Yeah.
And then also the physical transformation.
Yeah.
When you implore people to go back and look.
If you look at my very first videos, I actually look a little bit more like I do now, because what happened was like when I started my channel, I was probably at like some of the best levels of physical fitness in my life, because I was rock climbing like 4 times a week.
Oh, nice.
And then I had a kid, and I gained a lot of weight, because basically I stopped climbing, because my wife and I would climb together.
Oh, okay.
And so we would stop. We stopped.
Yeah.
And then we just gained a lot of weight, and then it got harder and harder to go back. We moved a little bit. The gym wasn't as close, and so then like about a year ago, roughly when I got laid off, I was like, I gotta pick up my whole life, and I gotta make this channel better. I gotta lose weight. I gotta get a little healthier. And so it all kind of.
I didn't know you were so into climbing.
Yeah. I love bouldering.
Was that just because you are so close to the ground that you wanted to experience being up from the ground?
Yeah, well, I also think if you look at just like roughly my build, me and boulders have a lot in common.
A little rough around the edges.
A sort of Gimli body
Okay.
type.
Not entirely incorrect.
Yeah.
Did they have a like a step ladder for you to use to get started, or
Oh no. You just
did they
do
just throw you up there?
Just like will and tenacity, Yeah.
That's nice. I'm glad that you guys did that together. I could see why, like, if one person's watching the kid and the other person's climbing, you did it together, how that would feel.
Yeah, we originally, so we had some friends who climbed with us a lot too. That I had met one of them through work, but it was another PhD in philosophy and actually a PhD in archaeology. So they had adopted a baby, and we would actually go with them, and we would all go climbing together, and we would just bring the baby onto the mats, and we would just take turns like watching the baby, and that totally worked. But it's way easier to do that when the kid is adopted, because like my wife was like, I'm not going climbing for like 6 months because
she's recovering,
because birth is like this horrific like terrible experience.
I heard it was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, but it's really hard on a lot of women's bodies. So then they moved, and so like I couldn't like just go climbing with like them, and then like it just kind of fell out of it.
Yeah.
Plus climbing's the kind of thing where like if you really wanted to, I think like a gym session, like just like lifting weights, if you only had 30 minutes, you could like really make the most of it or something.
Yeah.
With climbing, it's really kind of a 2-hour minimum.
Yeah.
Because you're going to do something, you're going to be completely beat. You're going to need to like rest for a few minutes. Like there's a lot of like pauses in between what you're doing, and there's a lot of like problem solving. So you got to be kind of committed for, I mean, maybe you could make an hour work if you were really like on, but you kind of need at least 2 hours. And so.
Yeah, that's a big commitment.
Yeah.
I guess I never really answered what I'm reading. We got sidetracked by I Who Have Never Known Men. But so I'm reading Shards of the Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And I am also reading The Armageddon Rag by George R.R. Martin. Small Gods I was reading by Terry Pratchett. It's on pause because I have too many things. Like I wouldn't just enjoy that book.
Okay.
So that's on pause for right now. And then I think that is it. Why do I feel like I'm I'm going to start the Mark Lawrence book, The Book That Wouldn't Burn, probably next week. That'll probably be next week.
You have a lighter? We could test that.
Everyone said if I don't like it, I should really put it to the test.
Yeah.
I don't think Marcus would like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm already on his shit list. I don't want to.
I understand.
I don't want to push it anymore.
He's gonna key your car.
He is gonna key my car. Oh, I finished Boys Life by Robert McCammon.
Oh, okay.
You would like that book.
Okay, yeah.
You would like Boys Life quite a bit.
Did you guys know that Jimmy owns 2 Cybertrucks that he has custom wraps on?
That is not true.
Camo Cybertrucks.
That's not the camo.
One of them's green and one of them's pink. That's Kelsey's.
Do
Drives the pink camo Cybertruck.
Tech girl and tech boy.
Yeah, it was so embarrassing to be riding around with that.
Oh my god! Could you imagine me owning anything camo? Do I look like a camo kind of guy?
People have been putting those stickers on their Teslas that said, "I bought it before he was a Nazi." Jimmy said after.
Buc-ee's is never going to sponsor another stream. It's never going to happen. Mystery guess, what's the twist? It's that this man from Austin, Texas is here. That's it.
And I thought that thumbnail was really well made.
It was made in about 5 minutes. The font is not the same, but I'll forgive you for that just because you did me a solid. Haley said, we learned that Jared is posh Alan and Jimmy is a inflammatory Alan. Confirmed, without a doubt. Without a doubt. What happens when you reach 1 million subs, Jared? Do you get a salary from YouTube?
No, you get a new plaque, but they've recently made those smaller. So my gold plaque, if I ever get it, will be smaller than my silver one.
Really?
Yeah, they've resized them because what was happening is all these shorts creators were getting to a million subs a lot faster.
Give them the smaller ones.
Yeah, I believe that's it. But I want the full size one. But you can buy the full size one.
Okay.
It's like $200 or something.
I see.
But yeah, I'll get a gold play button, and things could crash and burn. Who knows, right? But I'd like to think in like within a year, like another 12 months, I'd like to be at 1 million subscribers. I told my publisher I'd be at 1 million subscribers within a year.
Kind of sold that.
And I'd like to be there. It would feel good. That would feel good, and then I would put that gold. I think my silver play button is in a storage container along with my PhD.
I was going to ask you what you valued more.
And I'll just put them together in the box. Yeah.
Which one do you value more?
Well, I'll tell you this. Kids are more impressed by the play button.
Really?
Dude, I know like some of my friends' kids, these could be like 7-year-olds or like 11-year-olds come up to me and be like, I heard you have a silver play button. And then one of them was like, I was like, yeah. And then one of them said, not gold though. Which I thought was great. Yeah.
Kids are focused on the right things, I think. Sam Y said, is this a Wolf Hall hostage video? No, but I have actually, I was looking over at it last night and I was looking at that bookmark and I was like, I'm kind of getting back into the mood maybe possibly for it. So
I thought about buying Wolf Hall for Jimmy as a joke, but I decided I wasn't going to press it this trip. I was going to let this be fun.
Yeah, this is an introduction. He'll start being a bastard later. She was only, he said, since I joined late, did you already do a height difference between the two? I mean, we commented on it. It's large. It almost looks like I'm like, you know, pulling around my little brother in many regards in public. A lot of people are looking. Did you notice that?
I did. Yeah, it's because he's freakishly tall. He's like Andre the Giant, where like he has to drink 12 beers a night just to feel normal.
If I drank 12 beers, I would probably die. Tyler's Tome said, all jokes aside, I thought your journaling videos and your books that got me through hard times videos were quite positive.
Oh, see? Thank you very much. I
See?
appreciate that. Yeah.
Tyler watched, but you said no one watched.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, Britton said, I started A Brief History of Seven Killings last night. Really intense read. Yeah, I read the first 60 or 80 pages of it, and it requires a lot out of you. Basically, like every Marlon James novel, but so well written, I think.
What's the page count of that book?
It's probably like 500 or 600.
Not so brief.
Yeah, it's certainly not brief. There's a lot going on. There's a ghost. It's very stylized. Have you read any Marlon James?
I've not. No.
I would love to see where you end up with it, because if you want someone that's like going for it writing wise, I think that's the dude. I think he's super underrated. Has Jared read Musashi?
No, I have it on my shelf though because I was gonna read it after I finished Vagabond, but I haven't finished Vagabond. So, but
neither has the author. Wins a winner or something. Haley said, I just finished Dungeon Crawler Crawl Book 1 and then jumped to The Road. The tone change was remarkable. Now, you're going to be reading Dungeon Crawler Crawl soon, right?
I can think of almost nothing. You know what? Sign me up for the Romantasy book list, and I'll read those before I read Dungeon Crawler Carl.
What was it you said about Lit RPG? You said it was like, someone said, what if it was like Sanderson, but even harder, man?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When I read a Sanderson book, I think to myself, these mechanics haven't been explained enough times. Let's just explain it one more time.
Sam Y said, didn't Jared blow the whistle? There's a Nutwork Island. That's quite enough out of you, Sam. It's quite enough. Matt Keane said, he who has never read Woman, a.k.a. Alan from the Library of Alexandria.
He's read K.J. Parker, and that's an initialed author. So
I mean, I thought it was a woman for the longest time. And still, he started naming everything after things in his toolbox, and I was like, oh, it's very masculine of him. Yeah, I'm reading The Nail by K.J. Parker. Riveting stuff. That'll get the readers.
Well, if it's riveting, I think it should be a screw.
Now I know who took that Insta video of Jimmy golfing the other day. Hey, shout out to you watching my reel. Jared didn't watch my reel, which is quite rude. It's a hell of a swing. You should look. It has a great sound.
Okay.
Golf is very like appeasing to the ears.
I see.
Except when people talk. But like the sounds of the course are very nice. Evie said, are you saying that your chains are at the distance from the camera, so the difference is relative to your sizes on the screen? Or chairs? I saw chains. I mean, I am closer. Jared is, but I mean, you can tell he's sitting in a reasonable chair and his head is only up to the like second shelf. That's like Frodo level shit. I'll stop.
I think it's fine.
No, I mean, if I scoot back.
We're having fun.
Here, look. I scoot back.
All right, yeah, let's.
Like this is.
Your chair's a little bit higher.
Yeah.
For the record.
I mean, we can stand up. You don't want to show your legs?
I don't. Yeah, I got an embarrassing tattoo.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask if you wanted to show the audience your tattoo. Yeah. I don't know. The Tesla logo. I don't know if I would get it tattooed personally, but.
An outline of Elon Musk making a very provocative hand gesture.
God. As May said, wait, chatting with nuts while I'm not asleep sounds like a dream. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever done one in a Monday afternoon.
And Esme, you can thank me for that.
You can. Jared really pushed the issue. There's something about this guy who just needs to be
perceived.
Perceived.
Yeah.
That's my word of the year. Andre said, just stopping on to say hi. We'll watch later. Love the shirt, Jimmy. Looking jack. Thank you. I put this on because he was wearing a hipster shirt, and I said, should I go get my hipster? I own one. And I was like, I should probably put on my hipster shirt. And lo and behold, I think they look pretty nice together, actually.
I think they do. It's complimentary.
I like both of the colors. Orange is good on you.
Thank you.
Not a lot of people can do orange.
Yeah, thanks. I was surprised. I put it on after getting it. I was like, wow, this really...
Where'd you get it?
J. Crew.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're making pretty good money. I mean, that's a, what, 25 shirt off the rack?
Something like that. I'm not making 2 Cybertruck money, but...
I mean, not many people are.
Yeah,
I mean, have you seen this channel? I might hit 19,000 subs this year. It's getting
Wow. So when you
dicey.
first discovered my channel,
Yeah.
I was still bigger than you.
You were, but I was like, oh, I can catch this guy. This guy's a square. That was I'm like, philosophy.
Yeah.
Who cares? And then,
People really want more epic fantasy content.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
They want epic fantasy. I mean, how do you feel to know that like probably a quarter of your viewers when you make philosophy videos are coming from like manosphere videos?
Someone's got to talk to them. And so I feel okay with
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever called you a soy boy?
Oh, yeah, constantly.
Yeah, I can see it.
Constantly. In my latest video about like AI cheating stuff, I had a few people tell me that I was like undermining Western civilization because I was telling students that it was okay to cheat, which is wild because I was not saying it's okay to cheat.
I did not get that message.
And then they were like, someone told me I need to read the Bible and Jordan Peterson. And like, I just thought it was like a very funny sentence. Like, you need to read the Bible and Jordan Peterson.
Well, to do that, you'd have to define what reading is. What watch did Jared want to get with his book deal check?
A Grand Seiko Snowflake.
Did we mention this?
Last time like, you made fun of me because you were like, I'm gonna get a watch. Yeah. Like that was your impression of me talking about getting my book deal check.
Tyler's on to something.
Wow, yeah.
He remembered your old videos, when you used to be positive.
Yeah.
And now
But
remembers to watch.
I'm an everyman today, Tyler. I'm just wearing a Casio. So
I'm wearing nothing, but I got a nasty. And by the way, someone pointed this out on my last stream. They're like, nice golf glove tan, and it is really bad. But I even said like I was like, no one's gonna notice it, and then someone noticed it. I think it was Joseph Ramirez. I think they commented on the video and were like, nice tan. I'm like, damn it, I am quite tan.
Pretty tan, yeah.
Like comparatively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't tan very well.
You don't go outside much.
I actually I walk my dog outside every day for like 30 minutes to an hour now.
Okay, that's decent.
This puppy just like wants to be outside, and we're going out like there, but I just really don't tan. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it is actually I do tan. You should just see how pale I can get.
Okay.
The baseline is.
I mean, I have a baseline, and it's it's pretty drastic.
Wow. Problem is I can't see actually because every time I look over at Jimmy, I have 17 blinding lights.
How's that?
just coming and assaulting my eyes.
Would you say for the size of my channel that this is an impressive amount of equipment?
The lights to subs ratio is pretty good. I was introducing Jimmy to some of my favorite like made up YouTube stats earlier, and so that's part of this joke.
Lights to subs ratio is really funny. What's up, Frank? He said I have it on both hands for motorcycle gloves. I keep 4 wheels on the ground at all time. I can't do the 2 wheels.
That's why he got the Cybertruck.
Yeah, one arm is bigger than the other, so I tip over. Yeah, that's why I got the Cybertruck. Jeez, oh my goodness.
You know when I knew Trump was going to win the election
What
is
are
when
we
I went to go vote early in the election, and I saw 4 Cybertrucks in the parking lot, and I was like, "Yep, he's taking it." And now you are,
and here we
you
are.
bought the car.
I did not buy the car. I need to be very clear. I do not own a Cybertruck, and I do not like Elon Musk. I had a great job, and Elon Musk kind of ruined it in many ways. Matthew G said, bro, what's your LSR? That should be the first thing people are asking at these YouTube summits, where I assume just people are doing nefarious things. Have you been invited to like hang out with groups of people since you're so like popular now?
Do you mean like groups of YouTubers?
Yeah.
I've met up with some people in person, in like a couple of like Discord servers or like Slack groups to talk about some stuff. But like I don't go over to Jimmy, you know him as Mr. Beast. I don't go over to his
You know him as Mr. B. Jimmy. Oh my, the bigger Jimmy, if you will, with better teeth. I swear, Jimmy has the most contagious laugh. It's not even funny. Well, thank you.
I agree that it's not funny.
Someone said, "Oh, thank God." Yeah, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not one of those. Thank God. JCM Burns, I've lost friendship because people were Muscophiles. Well, I basically lost a job from it, which is super unfortunate. But hey, I'm starting a new job in a few weeks, and I'm very excited. Very excited working with a bunch of people I know and I love. So Jared came at a perfect time when I was transitioning between the two jobs, which is pretty fun. It's been a pretty relaxing week, and I've been getting a lot of reading done, dude.
That's great.
Yeah.
How many books do you think you've read since you left?
Since?
Yeah.
Probably 2 or 3, which, I mean, so early in the month is pretty good for me. I'm really trying to, and I was talking about this with Murphy the other day, it's like, I'm really considering going down to 2 books a month and doing the Patreon pick and then a book that I really want to read.
Okay.
Maybe I could throw in like a 3rd book if it's like pretty short, but I really would like to be getting more out of the books I read. Like it's never been about numbers here. Like I'm not a person that posts 12, 13 book thing, and I'm not hating on someone who does, but it's just not what I do. But I actually want to do I want to go even further that way, right? I want to get more out of the books, and I think the threshold for DNFing goes like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I will be DNFing more. Is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So I will really be trying to get the most out of that book that I pick, if that makes sense. So I'm really trying to pick the very best. I don't know. It's something I'm kicking around. I'm also kicking around a lot of different ideas. And Jared's one of the people I sound off on all the time about like changes to this thing that we do. Though live does seem to kind of be my realm.
Yeah. You're good live. I want you guys to know that I'm in a small group chat with Jimmy and Alan. It's just Jimmy and Alan. It's just 3 people. So it's like calling it a group chat. It's like, I don't know. It's like calling this a meeting of the minds. But I am in this chat, and I shared the news that I had hit 600,000 subscribers to with my 2 friends, Jimmy and Alan. And Jimmy described being friends with me as like getting kicked in the nuts.
What did I say? I can't remember.
He said being friends with Jared is like getting kicked in the nuts. It hurts, but I like it.
I was on like the 16th tee box when I said that. I was a couple high noons in, I think. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Zach. Said excited for your new job. Hey, Zach, thank you. And Zach did me a solid whenever I felt like I was going insane and not hearing back. And he actually reinforced the fact that I was not an idiot and not crazy, but the world is a little bit upside down. So, Zach, it might seem like a small thing, but you actually have no idea how much that meant to me. So thank you. You're a good dude.
Is that Mr. Bourne?
It's Mr. Bourne.
Yeah, Mr. Bookborn.
Yeah. Great guy. Super talented dev as well. Mr. Beast lives in my town. Get him on the horn. Let's get him on Chatting with Nuts. I'm sure he reads. Probably not.
He's writing a book, I think, with James Patterson.
Are you going to read it?
No.
Yeah, me either.
But he's writing a book with
What
James
if it's
Patterson?
really good?
Well, I don't think we have to entertain that possibility.
You're so good at being rude. Like you just have that's what your education really went towards, just you being the worst. Books of Vegas said, got to go back to work, but fun to drop in and see you went with Hagrid Harry camera framing for this stream.
You should just quit your job like Jimmy did.
Just quit your job. I mean, Jared quit it. Jared actually got fired.
That's true.
And turned it into a YouTube thing. When I was facing layoffs, the first thing I said was, my grand idea was if I got fired, I think I told you this, is if I get fired, I was going to just vlog me getting a job at a bookstore.
Okay, that's a pretty good idea.
And just being like disgruntled tech worker working at bookstore and vlog my everyday.
Yeah.
And document myself like applying to jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I think that would have been fun, but honestly, I'm just more relieved I have a new job. And I never did get laid off, thankfully. So, what's up, Jake? Good to see you. Kicking in the Nuts, episode 4. Chadia also agrees. Yes, join the DNF club, Jimmy. Done with mediocre books. We really got to start sifting through this.
What's the last book that you read that you think was that you should have DNF'd?
You know what? And I said this, I think, when I talked about it. I was like really on the fence with This Is How You Lose the Time War.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad I finished it though, because like I do think there's a lot of things going for that book, But by the time I got to the end of it, I was kind of like, I probably could have quit.
Yeah, I listened to that on audiobook. It's just so mouthy, like the way,
Oh, really?
Like they're really like close to the mic, and it's like a lot of weird mouth sounds, and it added to the. I think it was supposed to add to the sensuality of the book in ways that I found deeply.
Sensuality is not something I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's like gentleness. We saw a book described as gentle, and I said, I don't think I've ever read a book and been like, you know what I'm looking for? A gentle book.
Hey, Chaudia. Hey, Jake. You guys can go stick it where the sun don't shine. Wolf Hall rules. Wolf Hall's great.
Hey, bro, those are my friends. What are we doing here?
All right, I'm just gonna go get a hotel. I'm done with this.
How would you like if I came to your audience and called them all incels?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it would inspire them to finally go get a girlfriend
Or
a
not.
boyfriend.
Or a boyfriend. It's fine. Jeez.
Whatever they want. I just want them to find companionship.
Just find connection.
Yeah.
Is Mr. Beast gifts struggling booktuber with a Cybertruck. And then never mind. There's certain things I shouldn't say on lives. I don't know if he reads, but he doesn't tip at Starbucks drive-thru though. Called out, exposed. Doesn't surprise me, unfortunately. Python Bile said Jimmy Nuts versus Jimmy Beast would be killer. It would be very one-sided. I would have to work pretty hard to get it to be a entertaining combat. Fever said, the more I come to understand post-structuralism via Butler, Foucault, is that how you say that? Foucault, and them other folk, the more I find I kind of sort of quasi-oxymoronic. Is that normal to think that, oh, wise philosopher kings? Yeah. Well, kings would be plural. There's only one philosopher here, and that's...
Yeah. Has Fever ever commented before? I'm just curious.
Oh, Fever is the goat.
Okay, I wasn't sure if this is...
Fever is the most interesting person in the world.
So I would say I think Foucault's more interesting than Butler. Fever. This is just I'm no expert in post-structuralism or anything like this, but Foucault's stuff, at least on like in Discipline and Punish, I think is pretty interesting. And in fact, I was probably going to cite it in an upcoming video.
Sure.
You know. But there with Butler, I admit I find Butler very hard to understand.
What Butler are we talking about? Octavia?
No, I'm talking about Judith Butler. Author of Gender Trouble and other works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Raise your hand if that means nothing to you.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about the leg reveal. I'm just telling you guys, if you start dropping some 10 spots for Jimmy, maybe we'll get some. You can't give it away for free, man.
Let them dogs bark. Oh, the socks are still on.
Okay, good point.
My socks are bigger than you. Yeah. Look at this. This is insane. Wow.
It's freakishly large feet.
Look at this. Now it's gotten weird. Padrissimo? Jared, what's the most controversial philosophical opinion take you personally have? Anything that would shock Jimmy? Oh, please.
I think I don't know if any of these would shock Jimmy. Because I'm afraid I'm going to say words Jimmy's not going to understand.
I mean, that's fair.
I think that if you had to describe like what I think is like my actual metaphysical views, I think I am some kind of like idealist pantheist. So like that's pretty out there for most people these days. But like,
so when you say metaphysical, is that when they reach down and you cough?
Yeah, exactly. It's actually the conversation you have before the physical.
Yeah, they do it when you're applying for a job in Meta.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. I don't know, Patricio, you'll have to tell me if that's shocking enough to you. Like, I think my ethical views are all fairly milquetoast. But yeah, it's probably the idealism /
How would you describe milquetoast views?
Like, there are like philosophers who, for instance, believe that it's morally obligatory to create as many sentient beings as possible so long as they live marginally good lives because you're maximizing the amount of pleasure in the world. There are other philosophers who think that the most important thing is to reduce all suffering in the world, so they actually think it would be morally permissible or possibly even obligatory to exterminate life because it would guarantee there's no suffering.
See that,
and those are pretty shocking. And like I don't buy into any of those kind of those sorts of extremes. So
well, I mean, also like, what are we doing here?
Well, apparently plotting to kill all sentient life.
Yeah, like in what manner is that useful?
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's useful, but there are people who I think are at least interested enough. I think if you look at the kind of effective altruist people out there in the world, who I think a lot of them do good work, but there's like a subset of them who are kind of negative utilitarians. Like they think they want to reduce as much suffering as possible. So I do think there's like a small subset of them who would think like, yeah, maybe we should like exterminate species that we think live bad lives.
I mean, isn't this the whole AI thing where it's like stop spam emails and then the AI kills every human so no emails can be sent? Isn't that?
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. You could imagine like a negative utilitarian AI would be very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, it's so obviously not right.
Yeah. Well, you can no, I think that there are some like kind of intuitive principles that if you're not willing to like hedge them, if you just like take them to the extreme and just take them where they go, yeah, I think you could actually make decent arguments for them. But it's one of the reasons, like for instance, I am not a consequentialist or a utilitarian when it comes to ethics. So that's a big part of it. Why I am not sort of on board with any of those things. So I don't know exactly how to describe my views, but I think consequentialism is like super wrong.
Now, let me ask you this in the whole realm of that. Like, how much do you bench press?
Been a long time since I bench pressed anything, But
I can tell.
Yeah.
Because you use the word utilitarian and altruist.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
I have to do something.
Yeah,
here.
I get it.
I'm drowning.
Yeah.
Gavin, with the comment of the year, said, always wanted to see Jimmy tickle someone with his feet. Stay tuned. It's going to get weirder.
If someone finally drops the 10 spot, we'll get the feathers out.
No, do not super chats. Do not super chat.
I found some weird, like, in a box in this closet, and Jimmy's had, like, some weird straps and stuff. I don't know what they are. A lot of buckles.
Listen, that's for Halloween. Okay, we got a big Halloween special coming up on Rumble. JC and Burns said, do any of them really believe those things, though? Or are they just either being edgelords or pointing out absurd arguments?
I think some of them really do believe it. I think Parfit really believed. Well, no, Parfit's like not doesn't endorse the repugnant conclusion, but it's like surprisingly hard to avoid the repugnant conclusion though if you are a consequentialist. So I think some of them earnestly do. I've at least heard people earnestly defend those like in talks and stuff, and I had no reason to doubt their sincerity. There are probably people online who like to be edgy for the sake of being edgy, but I do think there are sincere people who people who sincerely believe it.
Probably the most extreme versions of those are what get seen online, right? Like the trail of getting to that point isn't really highlighted.
Yeah.
That's my guess anyways. Padrismo said, you just kind of referred to Parfit's repugnant conclusion. Can you expose Jimmy then and see what his intuition would be?
Okay, so it's been a very long time since I've like done this. So if I get the details wrong in this, Padrismo, you should tell me or correct me. But imagine if you think that basically your moral obligation is to maximize pleasure, not for yourself, but like the total state of pleasure.
Okay.
One way to do this
is to give everyone a Brazzers account.
Maybe, but like one way to do this, you would think like, oh, what we can do is like we have a population, it slowly grows, and we'll just make everyone happier too, right?
Okay.
But another way to do this is to like exponentially grow the population to the point up to the point where they're all living just barely good lives, right? So if you were kind of measuring the value, like the happiness of their lives, let's say it would be like they would just have like 1 point of happiness. So like they're barely not miserable.
Okay.
Right? But if you had enough people, this would actually increase the total amount of pleasure, right?
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, right. So because like it's kind of like all we believe in is just increasing total pleasure. So one way to do this is to just create lots of people who are just marginally happy. And that's sometimes referred to as the repugnant conclusion. Derek Parfit, in his book Reasons and Persons, I think gives it that name. Or if he doesn't give it the name, he describes it, and then it's called the repugnant conclusion. It's been a very, very long time since I looked at that book, like since my undergrad days. And the question is, like, do you think that, to see where your intuitions go, do you think that sounds like, a horrible thing to do, to create like people, to create as many lives, as many sentient beings who are just barely happy?
No, I don't like that
at all.
Yeah.
So it seems repugnant, right? That's why it's called. But the problem is, under kind of normal consequentialist reasoning, it can be pretty hard to avoid. So
it's also like, I feel like everyone has a different barometer of happiness.
Well, even if we just accepted all of their subjective assessments.
Okay, so it's on an individual basis.
Yeah, you can even do that and just say, for all of you, would you rate your life as at least marginally happy and just like, guarantee it such that everyone was? You would still probably get a version of the repugnant conclusion.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't sound ideal to me.
No.
I don't necessarily like it.
No.
But I guess you're saying that it's inevitable if you go down that reasoning.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem. It's really hard to avoid it. And so you'll see some philosophers who just like make small careers out of like, I'll just defend the repugnant conclusion to show you why all the standard ways out of it are bad, right? So if you are a consequentialist, you know what? People are saying that this is...
The framing?
Yeah.
I mean, I did try to tell him this before. I was like, we should scoot closer.
Okay, let's
There, that's so much better.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I kind of liked it more, though.
Yeah.
I feel like you aged 10 years when you got closer to the camera.
Especially because, well, it's the lights.
The lights are brutal.
The lights are brutal. Yeah.
Murphy, when she was in this room, almost had a heat stroke.
Nice.
So here's a question. Is that a utopia? Would that qualify as a utopia?
I don't know, because I don't know what the definition of utopia really is supposed to be.
Someone put it in the chat, like literally put the definition as it is in Webster's or whatever dictionary that is what people reference. The reason why I asked is because I'm thinking about like Ian M. Banks' Culture series, and it's basically a utopia, like post-utopian sci-fi. And I think that it's pretty amazing.
Shut up, Jimmy. Moyd's here.
Hi, Moyd. Good to see you.
One of my absolute favorite YouTubers.
Yeah, he's the man. He's been the man for a long time.
Yeah.
He's been at it.
Book of the New Sun video, awesome. And the thing is, that I like about Moyd is he pretty much is always like experimenting with like format or like what he's gonna do or something like this. Like he's just like
a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
to do something like that.
Yeah,
especially whenever like I mean, Moyd absolutely could have just done what he had been doing all along, but he's kind of done it differently every so often.
Yeah,
I would say.
As someone who has consciously experimented with like the presentation style or even the topics I cover, I appreciate it, but I feel like Moyd takes it to a different level than what I've done.
Yeah. Also kind of reimagining like what book videos could look like, which is really cool. That's something I wish I had more of. Jack said, I feel like a lot of these arguments are due to nerds having too much time on their hands. Jack, I couldn't agree more. Not one of them has 18-inch arms. Not one of them.
Maybe.
No response. Jimmy with the golf shirt. It's more of a hipster shirt.
Sometimes you just don't want to dignify something with a response.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Silence can be quite damning.
It's making me uncomfortable. Yana said utopia, an imagined place or state of things in which everything is perfect. So I do think that is different than what we were describing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I really just wanted a reason to plug the culture because I just think it's so good.
Oh, yeah. The culture is, I think now, Moyd, tell me if you agree or, whatever. But I think I would now say that the culture is my favorite science fiction series.
Ironically, I was thinking about this in the shower as I do most of my thinking, I think like most people. And I was thinking in my head, like, what's the most underrepresented like series for like how much I enjoy it, no matter how much of it I've read. And the ones that came away with their Dagger and the Coin in fantasy, and then in sci-fi, it's easily culture. Like, I pretty much just go to a culture book when I need a 5-star read.
Yeah, they're all great. And I personally really love series where you don't have to read a book in particular order. You could just read them in publication, but you don't have to. And I like ones where it's like shared world, but lots of new characters.
Yeah. Like you're living in a situation or whatever, right?
Like you're exploring
like Discworld.
Like Discworld.
Yeah.
But even Discworld has like those sub-series, which is fine. But so I Sam was just asked a very good question. The thing I would say is this. I don't necessarily think about someone gave it a thumbs down. Boo. Like go to hell, man. But like but anyway, I typically conceive of Book of the New Sun as a book. Which might be me just like fudging things so that I get to have it.
Do you
both
think
ways.
Lord of the Rings is also just a book?
Well, that part is true. That it is just a book. It was a book that was spoke. But like the Book of the New Sun is like such a cohesive whole. But the culture, you could dabble in and out. You don't have to read them all, but you should because they're all great. I don't know. I think Ian M. Banks is really, really good. He also stylistically pushes himself in every book. He changes how he writes in a way that I find really nice. Like he managed to put out a lot of, but I have this terrible experience with Ian M. Banks though. I wanted to get all of the culture books in matching covers, and you have to order them from the UK. You can't order them straight from Orbit. They won't sell them to you in the US. They canceled my order. And so I ordered from Waterstone, I believe is the name of the book retailer in the UK. And they sent it to me in 2 boxes. And one of the boxes was opened and it was delivered to me as an empty box. So I contacted them and I said, hey, these are the books I received. There was an empty box and I lost this. I'm really sorry, but could you send it? And they were super nice. They were like, we're so sorry, whatever. We'll send it to you right away. Right. 2 weeks later, I get a box open, no books in it. They happened twice. So I didn't email them again because those books, I just gave up on owning all the same color covers, and I'll just get the US editions. Because there are also some Ian M. Banks books that you can't get in the US currently.
And because he's written other stuff too.
But there are certain culture books that you can't get printed right that are out of print right. You can't even buy a Kindle copy because of rights stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. And including I think Matter was one of them, which is like widely regarded as one of the best culture books, and you couldn't get it. And anyway, I've fought hard to get Ian M. Banks books, and sometimes I've lost, but.
The new covers that they released for them, I think, even in the U.S., are actually quite cool. Because my original ones were UK.
Talking about the black ones with like the color.
I like those.
I actually hate them, but I wanted.
Really?
Yeah, but like the problem is you can't get. The problem is that there was a run of covers before that, which sucked even more.
That's the ones I had.
And then you had like the original covers, which are like very old, like vintage science fiction looking things. And I wish they would print those.
Yeah.
Or do something like that, but they won't do it because they're cowards.
Moyd says publication are always hipsters.
Okay. Well, all right.
I respect that. Here's the thing about culture. If I could just put one statement about the reason why I think it's so impressive is because he made a utopia interesting. Mm-hmm. I think the idea of a utopia is very boring.
Yeah.
Not just like to live in or what, but as a story. That does not sound like something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But he finds a way to like create a problem and I guess make like a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
And in some ways, like Player of the Games is fantastic. It's so good. Use of weapons is so experimental in many ways. And
have you read Look to Windward?
No, I've only read those two, and I've read the first maybe quarter of Accession, and I'm gonna actually sit down and read it.
You should read Look to Windward. It really explores the kind of limits of utopia a little bit more in some nice ways. Yeah.
Do you have any plans of reading his non-culture stuff like Wasp Factory?
Yeah.
I've heard that.
I'll get around to reading it all at some point.
Yeah, I've heard that book's super messed up.
I love him. I think he's great. But there's so much to read, man.
Yeah, that's a problem. Some Okidu wants to know if you've read Basslag.
I read the first one.
Perdido, man, you need to read The Scar.
I read Perdido Street Station. I think Perdido Street Station's pretty good, but it is it's messy. It's not structurally well executed. There are lots of.
It's messy. Yeah, for sure. That's why I think you should read The Scar, because I actually think The Scar is I like it more. I think that Perdido does have like a little bit of what's the word? Almost like charm in its messiness, if that makes sense. Like it feels good to watch somebody kind of go for it and just do wacky things and weird things. Mm-hmm. But The Scar has a lot of that imagination that China Miéville has in Perdido, but in a far better structured manner, I think. Also just happens to have some really sick, cool fantasy stuff in there, like causality type sword and some really cool stuff. So big Scar fan. I won my book of the year 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago? I can't remember. 2 or 3 for sure. Dogs of War series by Adrian Tchaikovsky is my favorite ongoing living author sci-fi series. Xenagis trilogy is my favorite completed past author sci-fi series.
Interesting.
Dogs of War was really good.
Tchaikovsky's good. He's inconsistent in my view.
I read Ogres.
But I think he's good.
I didn't read Dogs of War. I'm sorry. I get the two mixed up. Yeah. I've had that experience. Shards of Earth so far, so I'm liking it. I'm about probably a third of the way into it, and it's someone pitched it to me as Mass Effect.
Okay.
And I can see where they're saying that.
Yeah.
But man, did I have trouble at the first 50 pages. Like there's so many capital letters.
Yeah.
It felt like I was reading Malazan.
Yeah.
I was and thank God he put a glossary in the back of the book.
I do like the idea of pitching it as Mass Effect because I love Mass Effect.
That's what I said. And Jordan Levitt was on Chatting with Nuts, and me and him were talking about our love for Mass Effect. Someone's like, "Oh, you guys should read Shards of Earth," and I was like, "Okay."
I think Mass Effect 2 specifically It's just like one of my favorite games. I would play it in isolation over and over again.
I've been thinking about playing it.
yeah.
Jordan's buddy with me, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm starting to replay."
Whereas Mass Effect 1 is also very good. Just the
dated.
gameplay is a lot rougher.
Yeah,
if they could do like Mass Effect 2 gameplay with the story of Mass Effect 1,
yeah,
it would be great.
Yeah, Mass Effect 3's gameplay is really good too. Actually, I know the story gets polarizing.
I think like the jump in gameplay from 2 to 3 is not as dramatic as the jump from 1 to 2.
Oh yeah, you're right, 100%.
Like even just changing the ammo system and stuff like this, but was a big thing. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I would venture to say it probably was a new engine, like a new Unreal engine or something. It's that drastic. Remus said, I respect Ian Banks' writing chops, with a couple of books of his, I've tried a level of violence in them that I just wasn't comfortable with. Yeah, Player Games has some pretty violent stuff, which, again, you would think that would be absent in a Utopia, but it turns out that it ends up being a source of, I don't want to say pleasure, but maybe entertainment. But I guess that's not so much different from our non-Utopia that we're currently in. Wasp Factory is great. I've heard mixed things about it, but everyone I know has read it has had like an opinion about it, which I kind of look for when I hear people talking about books that I might want to read.
I see people mentioning multiple times the Vorkosigan saga.
Saga, yeah.
Never read it, but I want to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty high up on my list, mainly because they're very short, and I already like Bajol's writing from reading Curse of Chalian, so I think it'll be good. Somebody could do so. I remember Jared saying he likes City in the City, which I think is a good starting point for Mieval.
The City in the City is a better book than Perdido Street Station.
I would agree with that.
It's a better paced and written book.
I don't know if I'll say I like Perdido more, but I think if you just go by the structure of it and everything. Now, a lot of people hate the ending of City in the City, though. Which is ironic because Perdido has a great ending.
Yeah.
Perdido's ending's slam dunk, in my opinion.
I don't know. I was pretty happy the whole time with the City in the City. The ending, I could see you being a little bit unsatisfied. But the City in the City, like the basic premise of the City in the City is that there are two cities that are like superimposed on top of each other that kind of occupy in the same space. Yeah. And that you can kind of like flip back and forth, and like they have a weird relationship to each other and stuff.
It's like East-West Germany.
And that kind of very weird but easy to explain premise is like something that in my science fiction I just go nuts for. I'm like, wow, cool, I'm totally in.
Yeah, the idea that you could slam your car into someone else's and you're not allowed to acknowledge, or you get arrested. Yeah. If anything, I kind of wish he would have went a little bit further. Like that's one of the few books that I would have like maybe more pages in.
Interesting. Yeah.
There's just so many there's so many things you could do with it, because there is almost like a central 1984 Big Brother feeling to it. Yeah. And I felt like he probably could have done a lot of. I mean, China Mieville can. Go
I think
anywhere.
He was trying to really pace it though as a
crime.
As like a crime novel, which is I think one of the reasons it works so well.
I would agree.
But I don't know. It's just like with the City in the City, it's a complex idea, but you can give it to everyone in a sentence. How many of your favorite books in science fiction or fantasy, especially, probably can you do that?
Yeah,
probably not. Try to explain Mistborn. I know it's a book people like.
Coins.
You know, yeah, like in a sentence, right? Maybe it can be hard, right?
Yeah, I also think that, and this isn't, not everyone that hears this that's intrigued will like the book, but anyone that ends up hearing the City in the City's premise and situation, if they show an interest in it, they should read the book. I think it's a good hook. Not everybody who thinks it sounds interesting will like the book, because I've known a couple from my friends that have read it and hated it, actually. But I do think that it kind of
we have a name for people like that.
What's that?
Former friends.
Never. I'm wrong all the time, like Wolf Hall.
That's true.
Yeah. Garion said, I have only read Player of Games so far, but already hooked. Culture is so dope. Can't wait to read more. Vorkosigan, is my sci-fi series that I've finished. Yeah, it's definitely high up on my sci-fi list, as well as reading more Philip K. Dick, too. So, WTF, did anyone tell Jimmy it's a Monday? Yes, this is impromptu. This week's going to be a bit crazy for me. So this is when the Chatting with Nuts episode is coming out. And, 115 people of you have showed up to watch on a Monday. So it obviously wasn't a bad idea.
It had to happen right now, given our schedules. It was like, we mentioned streaming, and it was like, well, when do you want to do it? I'm like, well, we're going to get dinner later. And Jimmy's like, oh, when my tummy's full, I can't stream.
I said, quote, once I eat the Indian food, I'm done.
And so we had to do it. And then tomorrow I'm here for work. Let's call it business. I'm here for business. And so I'm going to be doing some stuff in the morning. And then after that, I'm going to be completely shot. Like, I'm not going to be camera friendly. And so I think we're going to go do some bookstores, get some books, Jamie's going to make a little, book talk girly vlog style thing.
They have a romance section.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. Ironically, I've never been to a bookstore in DC, which is a shame because I hear it's great. JC and Burns said, either of you going to be at Worldcon? No, I had really planned on it, but with the way my job was going this year, I didn't want to really plan any expenses. Now it's pretty resolved, and ironically, right around Worldcon, I thought about trying to go at the last second, but it just wasn't going to work out.
Is Worldcon like right now?
It's this week, yeah.
Yeah, so I had told I think I'd thought about going to Worldcon, but there were two things keeping me from going. One of them is that I don't think I've ever told you this. I've decided that I will never go to Worldcon until I've finally finished like a science fiction novel that I'm proud of.
Oh,
like
okay.
even if it's not published, I just won't go to anything like this until I've written something that I finally think is good. And the other reason is that, like, I think I vaguely mentioned it to my wife, like, maybe I could go this year, maybe like I would get my book done or whatever.
You have a job
and then she's like, don't go traveling because my wife's due on September 1st. She's like, so you can't go out of town. I was like, you're right, honey, totally, absolutely. And then I had this thing I had to I had to like go do, and so now I'm in DC, like this area. This DC area for like 2 days, and she's been very understanding of this impromptu trip, but still I did abandon my wife while she could go into labor.
Yeah, it's pretty rude of you, actually.
Yeah, like last night we spent like an hour, like, all right, if you go into labor at this time of the day, here are the phone numbers you could call, like, like with friends we know and stuff like this.
At least you have people there.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people there who can help out, and I think it'll be fine, but man, if I miss the birth of my daughter, to be hanging out with Jimmy.
To be fair, I'm a side effect.
Of all the places, yeah.
I was a side effect.
Yeah, when I saw those arms, I thought you were a Mass Effect.
Dude, that was... Hey, thanks, brother. Don't let me hang. Thanks, brother. That was nice. Yeah, that made me feel pretty good there, bud. Thanks. I haven't asked you this. Are you stressed?
About the stuff tomorrow?
Everything. Your kid could come at any moment. Yeah. You have a pretty cool business opportunity tomorrow that you've not really done at this point in a foreign location.
Yeah. I'm probably stressed. I don't think I've felt calm since I went full time as a YouTuber. I think my baseline stress has gone up a little bit. At the same time, my like sense of fulfillment from what I'm doing has also gone up quite a bit. So I've been like pretty happy. So I also, I think, tend to perform better when I'm stressed. I tend to do better like when I'm like kind of pushing myself. Yeah. So I think it's fine. Yeah.
Was meeting me in person stressful? Like, were you nervous?
No, it actually felt very natural. Yeah.
That's what I have found actually with people I talk to a lot online. Yeah. That when I meet them, it's almost never awkward. Yeah. It's very relaxed, especially if you have constant communication. Like, we talk almost every single day. So,
Odrissimo, thanks for the 10 spot.
Yeah, it's very kind. Said any of you read Permutation City? Did I say that right? Yeah. It describes a mind-blowing theory, dust theory, that being true, it would be the most existential and consequential conclusion ever. Go read it and report. Thank you. Honestly, thank you for that. It sounds amazing.
Yeah. Is that Greg Egan? Is that the author? I haven't read it, but I think I've seen his covers, and I've heard that I've been told I should read him. So,
all right, I am gonna look it up right now. So it's called Permutation City. Yeah. Okay. I mean, that just sounds like something I would be into. Also, K Fox, I'm sorry. Earlier you asked me if I read Scanner Darkly. Not yet, but that is the next Philip K. Dick that I'll be doing. The Best of Greg Egan: 20 Stories of Hard Science Fiction. I think it's a part of that collection. Is it a book or a short story? It's also very expensive. Oh no, here it is. It's a novel. I got it. Okay. It's only $10. Maybe we'll get the bookstore after this.
If we find it at a bookstore, that'd be great. Alistair Reynolds, I have some on my shelf. I need to read him.
Oh, dude. House of Suns was not my favorite. It was fine. I had a good time with it, but I thought Aversion was awesome.
Yeah, let me look at the book that
I would recommend Aversion to you.
Okay.
It's like 300 pages, 200 pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very snappy. JC and Burns said, you should meet me sometimes and make sure you just let me know when and where, my friend.
It sounds like you're going to meet him to fight back behind the Wendy's.
No.
7 p.m.
Behind the Wendy's dumpster.
yeah.
My puts went down, yeah. Might be his most human book, A Scanner Darkly. Interesting.
I can kind of see that. I am. I'm planning my big like reading schedule for next year. Not like my full. These are all the books. I mean, for what I'm going to do on my Substack, because I do this book club on Substack, and I've decided that the theme for that's going to be the philosophy of technology.
Okay.
And I'm going to weave a lot of science fiction in, because I like to do novels and like works of philosophy, and I'm probably going to do Android's Stream of Electric Sheep as one of the early novels.
When are you going to do this?
Starting in January.
I'll read it with you.
Yeah,
I'll read it with you in January because I want to read it anyways. Yeah. But been on a little bit of a like cyberpunk kick lately, which is very rare for me. I've just been getting back into the video game, which has been pretty nice. Carl said Greg Egan is an awesome sci-fi writer. I like Diaspora more, but Permutation City is a runner-up. And then Matthew G said Greg Egan is better than Ian M. Banks.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Try Eye in the Sky. Okay. Mrs. Nuts, write that down, please, if you are listening. So I that and Permutation City. I want to get those. I might actually have Eye in the Sky. I have to look. I feel like I do. Also said David said, Jimmy, you should sell Jaron on Robert Hard. J-Dog, can you get away with the trilogy? Not all 16. You don't have to read them all. I am not going to sell him on anything fantasy because Jared doesn't want to read fantasy right now. And I would hate for him to read it when he's not in the mood.
I am in kind of like a very anti-fantasy mood right now.
Do you think it's just because you're so smart?
That's always like the baseline condition. But and fantasies for dummies and idiots and big babies.
You know, I actually think that your villain arc it's more endearing in person. Like for some reason it's less harsh. And I don't know if there's the threat of violence that you feel right now, but
I think people when in person, I hope it comes off as more like that I actually mean well because I do read these like big dummy baby books. like you know, I'm just like a tiny bit burnt out on fantasy in part because like I like Guy Gavriel K a lot, right? But like I talked about this last time, like Alliance of Al-Rasan it just feels like another Guy Gavriel K, and then I'm like, what else do I want to read? Just something very different, right?
Yeah.
So reading I Have Never Known Men felt really refreshing, which is not the word that you would typically use to describe a book like that.
Yeah.
And I also just thinking about reading more like kind of classic science fiction. There's a few Le Guin novels that I said I wanted to read this year that I haven't read yet. A few of her books that I just haven't finished. Like Always Coming Home. I'd like to read. And there's, it's funny if you're not into fantasy curling, I'd recommend Guy Gavriel K is the problem.
That's who broke Jared.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think Sailing to Sarantium. I think the Sarantine Mosaic is maybe his. I think I like Song for Arbonne a little bit more, but I would not dispute the fact that that's probably his best work.
Yeah. David, I would actually no longer call The Wheel of Time my number one fantasy series.
Wow.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Are you getting rid of the tattoo?
I don't have a Wheel of Time tattoo.
I thought you had a wheel, the wheel on your tramp stamp.
Yeah, the Wheel of Time tramp stamp.
Yeah.
I can reinterpret its meaning.
Yeah, the two rivers.
Yeah.
And it runs right down his ass crack.
2 rivers, 1 canyon.
Ben says you shouldn't take you long to find with your excellently organized shelves, Jimmy. Hey, they are excellently organized now because of our good friends at StoryTube who had a couple beers and at 10 p.m. reorganized 1,000 books in my house. So they are now.
Let me bring this up with you, Jimmy.
Okay.
I was making this announcement that like The Wheel of Time would not be number one, and frankly, the more I think about it, if I were ranking my fantasy books, my old top 10 would be way different. Like my current top 10 fantasy would be way different.
Are you doing a top 10?
No, I'm not doing it, but I just wanted to like talk to you about like what we think the value of the top 10s are, right? Because here's the thing. You people love them.
Whoa.
No, people love top 10s. I watch top 10s sometimes because it's an interesting way to kind of get to know a person. But as someone who's made them before,
yeah,
I do find that if I take 2 years maybe 30 or 40% difference minimum. But it would not be too surprising if every time I made my top 10 favorite books, only about 20% remained the same.
Right.
Yeah. Because like I find that they don't really represent some like some perfectly static frozen preference list.
Yeah.
They're kind of like, given who I am right now
At this moment,
which is always kind of shifting, here are the books I think I would pick. Because what you're trying to do really is tell people like a story about yourself through the fiction that you like.
That's why Sarah Reed's had an amazing, and I miss Sarah, but she had an amazing thing where she did it chronological. Like at this time in my life, this was my favorite.
Oh, interesting.
And so she didn't list them like 10 through 1 in idea of like this one's better than the other. She said this is how my favorites have changed.
That's an interesting way to put it.
I actually think it's more useful if you're really trying to show people your taste.
Yeah, but I also just think if you were just very honest about it, if you're like I think if you're doing a top 10 every year, you're not reading enough probably to reassess that every year. Like almost no one is, but every couple of years, if you did a new top 10 of like a genre or just your favorite books, as long as you were just up to it, you would just say like, look, I know this will change, but it's like I'm just asking myself honestly. Here's how I would honestly answer now, knowing that it would change, right? Just because like who you are changes and how you view yourself changes. And I think that's actually kind of a beautiful part about being human, is like the kind of fluidity of our identities. And it's expressed partly through books. Mm-hmm. And I do think, David, there is some value to him, like you were saying, that like it's a good way for people to get quick recommendations.
Oh, yeah. And that is actually the main function of, I think, what we do on YouTube with books for the most part is actually people just wanting to hear about new stories.
Yeah.
Now, that gets tricky whenever a lot of the stuff are staples, right? Like a lot of people are going to have A Song of Ice and Fire. A lot of people are going to have whatever, Wheel of Time on their list.
Yeah.
But I don't actually ever think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I know a lot of people talk about echo chambers and stuff, which, by the way, I think is fairly unavoidable on any kind of like grouping on any platform. But here's the thing. I've heard people talk about Wheel of Time makes me want to give it another shot. I just like hearing people express themselves.
Yeah, and I think like also human beings are mimetic in the sense that we imitate each other, and like our desires are mimetic too. Like what I value and desire is often a function of what I see other people desiring or having. And so in part, like one of the reasons people like Sanderson so much is that like a lot of people like Sanderson, and it's like fun to like the same thing.
Oh yeah,
and I don't think that's actually bad.
Well, it's community.
And like a couple of years ago, I had Sanderson's Cosmere, like the whole Cosmere is like my number 10 on the fantasy books. Mm-hmm. And I said it as like I don't think they're that deep, but like they were kind of my fun books at the time. Yeah. And then just over time, it was kind of like they stopped being fun, and then their flaws became more obvious to me. That's why I wouldn't have it anywhere close. And I kind of went like I play up the negativity on Sanderson a little bit in public, but like I would still say I'm mostly negative about the Sanderson now, but it was probably because in part like during the pandemic we were all locked inside. I was like reading more Sanderson, and there were like people online talking about Sanderson. Yeah, and it was like a fun thing to kind of, it was like a fun thing to partake in a little bit, as I was kind of lonely.
Me too, Gavin. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
So I
really quickly,
yes.
Micah Hall.
Yeah.
We need some Robert Bolaño, Gene Wolfe, Marlon James, Ada Palmer, Simon Jimenez, and Paulo Baglialupi. Sorry, it's this kind of small screen.
It's combo is cheers.
Yeah. But Micah, I've read Bolaño. I love Bolaño actually. What's it? By Night in Chile. Yeah.
I've read Wolfe, James, Jimenez.
Yeah. I've read Wolfe. I've not read James. I've read the first Ada Palmer book. In like Too Light the Lightning, I think is the title of that. I don't know if I'd continue, but I thought there were some parts about it that were good. So I would look at those other ones. Evie, because you bought me a 3-month subscription to Jimmy's Patreon, I will read The Spear Cuts Through Water.
I think it's actually a book that you like, knowing what I know about it.
Yeah.
I think you'll probably like it.
Do you think we could find it at a bookstore around here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it here before. If you pick a decent time to read that, I would probably read it with you.
Okay.
So Evie will finally stop telling me to read it. I don't know if I can make a conclusive top 10 with a gun to my head, to be honest. When I made this channel, I mean, that was one of the things I was most excited. That's 6 years ago now, or 5 years, whatever it is. And I actually, ironically that you say this, I was thinking about starting to write down my top 10 fantasy series and making a video this month about it. I know everyone does them, but I've never done one outside of the year ends, and I've always wanted to. And my thing is I wanted to read more.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't think it was all that useful to go on and just list the same old things. Now, here's the thing. It's just my favorite. So it's not really any kind of barometer of quality. It's just like what I like, I guess. So
there was and the problem is like there's a lot of problems structurally with top 10s. At the same time though, I just think they are fun, and so I wouldn't scrutinize it too much. And I think it's like fine if you could say, so here's actually a really important thing. I think if you were like, hey, I've been doing this channel for a while, I've read fantasy, like a good amount of fantasy. Here are what I would say like my 10 favorite books, the fantasy books I've read, or series, or whatever, however you wanted to define it, right?
Yeah.
I'm okay putting series on there. I know some people like to pick a book from a series, like you can,
right.
Of course, if you pick books, like it's gonna get, then they're like, but only one book per author on the. No, it should just be like whatever's on your list, right? Like that's when I would
you think so, huh?
Yeah, because it's top 10.
But no, but also here. So here's the flip side of that. As the viewer, you're most likely coming to kind of curate reads.
Yeah.
So you want to see the most variety.
Yeah, in that case, I would just say that you should just like Well, I don't know. Like with my science fiction, I always include 2 Ursula K. Guin books, and like I'm not willing to compromise on that. So anyway, I think as long as you're kind of open about it, what I don't think you should do, and I might be guilty of this, right? So like this might be wishing I'd done things differently a year or two ago when I was making videos like this, is that you should say these are the best, right? Because the problem is that you are going to eventually come to disagree with yourself. And you're going to be like, oh, because it's all subjective, Jared. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you are a fallible creature who can get this wrong. And odds are you're not in a good position to make a list of the best books.
I mean, I don't have enough confidence to say best.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. It's because you kind of recognize that there's an objectivity to it that you have to earn the right to speak on.
No.
I think implicitly.
No.
Right.
See, anyway, this is where the philosophy degree gets a little dicey.
Anyway, David Seaworth asks, Jimmy, have you seen Lost, and do you think Jimmy would like it?
David wants me to watch this show so bad.
I've seen Lost. I don't tell anybody to watch TV because it's a waste of time.
You know Philip Chase doesn't own a TV?
Me and Philip.
You don't own a television?
I don't own a television.
At all?
No.
What's wrong?
If I watch something, I literally watch it on my monitor, and it kind of keeps me from watching too much.
Is that because you're on the grind?
No, it was primarily we got rid of it when we were having a kid because we didn't want him to be around. My son's 2. He's never seen a TV show. He's never seen a movie. He has watched a couple of YouTube videos. Sometimes my wife was like showing him a YouTube video on her account, and like I was in the sidebar, and he was like Dada, and we clicked it, and now like wants to watch.
That's
like,
funny.
That video, but yeah.
Alan said he will name the best.
Alan is the one who's allowed to do it. Alan is
7 of the 10 are from KJ Parker. Yeah. And then the other 3 is just a gust.
Famed woman in fantasy, KJ Parker.
Yes. Good female author representation.
No, the funny thing with Alan is that he says this, I will name the best, and like, funny enough, but like I could totally see Alan just being like, I don't care if you agree. I don't care if you like it.
Oh, no, yeah.
I'm just telling you my list, right?
That's why we love him.
Yeah.
That's why we love him. I can't help but to doubt myself at every turn, which is part of my positives and also part of my negatives. Yeah. A lot of people I end up playing golf with always look at me and they're like, dude, you, like, because I get really hard on myself and I'm really supportive of everyone else.
Yeah.
And constantly I'm told, like, dude, you, like, should be nicer to yourself. Like, dude, you're I mean, you're really tearing yourself apart. And I'm like, yeah, it's just how I am. I can't help it. Philosophy is a waste of time. Interesting. Because of your TV slander. Specifically because of your TV slander.
Okay, yeah. I've got about 2,500 years of history in my defense, and you have about 60 years of cultural decline on your side.
I mean, I'm on the TV side of this, and that's still pretty funny. Jake, I've read The Failures by Benjamin Lyer. You can go back on one of my wrap-ups. I talked about it. I was positive on it that didn't love the tone of it, I guess you could say. But I am going to read the sequel. Does anyone know when that sequel comes out? Is that this year? because I'd like to read the sequel. When
I don't.
It does
I don't
come out.
remember what The Failures is, but if it's
It's
the book,
wild.
if the book I'm thinking about, it was like when someone told me, I was like, wow, they whiffed it on that title.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because it doesn't like The Failures sounds like it would be like a crime novel or like some kind of like
it's not
Stephen King, but it's like a coming of age thing, you know. But
it's not. It's not a good title. Ironically, though, he has one of the best author names I've ever heard. Benjamin Lyer is a great author name.
Yeah.
I miss you too, Alan. I miss you too. And by the way, I have not watched Lost, but I'm watching From, which is essentially the new Lost, and it is delightfully stupid, and I like it a lot. So, Jimmy, I'm reading Reaper's Gale right now. Are you a Red Mask fan? Yes or no? I don't know if fan's the right word, but I was interested in Red Mask, especially with the ending. The ending was pretty interesting.
Joanna, we didn't know this was happening either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of out of nowhere. Oh, Tyson says no word on Photos Booktube. That's not a good sign. I imagine it sold decently well because Orbit was it Orbit or Tor? I can't remember who it was, but they were pushing it. Oh, it was DAW. It was DAW. They were pushing it hard on social media.
Can I tell you a story about DAW?
I would love for you to tell me a story about DAW.
So, like a couple days, like Friday, I think, I got a Discord message from my buddy Christopher Rocchio.
Okay.
And it just said, I believe DAW sent you book 7.
So you have book 7.
Well, wait for the end of the story, man.
Okay. Sorry.
And so I am like, they sent me book 7. And I went to my mailbox, which is not in front of my house. It's like in Texas, it's very common for like mailboxes to be like down the street, and it'll be like one big like box with like little mailboxes.
Oh yeah, we have that here.
Yeah. So like, so I go there and there's nothing. And so I send the thing to Christopher. I'm like, it's not my mailbox. He's like, oh, check your inbox. I'm like, oh, it's an e-arc. Okay, fine. And it's not there. I'm like, Christopher, it's not there. And he's like, check your spam. Go and check my spam. It's not there. And then he's like, oh, I don't know. I'll contact him. And like, I still haven't gotten the art. Like, I still haven't gotten the book. And I'm like, dude, you're my friend, and I like this series, right? I'm both a fan of this series, and you are my friend. You cannot fucking do this to me.
Would you say it's a conflict of interest?
Well, if I were like some kind of reviewer, like official reviewer or something like that.
But you do claim objectivity.
Yeah. As in, I believe there is an objective matter about whether or not it's good.
But can you assess that with a conflict of interest?
I might be limited in my ability to, but that's like a failing on my part rather than a like lack of objectivity in the domain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say you can't be objective in this scenario.
Yeah, maybe. But
Boy, guilty. Virtually every booktuber who's been sent book 7 is just sitting on it. Interesting. I have not read book 6 yet. So
you would hate book 6.
You think?
Yeah, I think
I've heard it's the most like Howling Dark, which is my favorite Sun Eater book.
Well, no, I think you would hate it for lots of reasons.
Oh.
Yeah. But, you know.
Was there anything that you didn't like in it?
Book 6 is my least favorite of the series.
Really?
I've told Christopher this, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. So like
well, I'm trying to troll a little bit.
Yeah, but it's my least favorite book of the series. You
will never pin this pin down. First man I've never been able to pin down.
I grease actually every time I see Jimmy in person I grease up first.
Yeah.
Like no, but I think 6 is the worst. And I basically gave Christopher my reasonings for this. I was like, I'm very excited and happy to read book 7, but I think like there were specific problems that I had with this book that I didn't think your other books, like weaknesses that I didn't think your other books had. I am apparently the only person in the world who has correctly perceived these weaknesses because everyone else is like, you're nuts. Like this is the best book in the series.
Yeah, I did not enjoy Ashes of Man as much as everyone else, and I definitely felt like I was on an island with that one. But
Moid, I'm actually not sure if you'd like Sun Eater.
I don't think Moid will like.
I think it's too fantasy. Like I think it's too much like fantasy. And I know you liked Malazan, I think, when you read it, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be up your alley. But I would be excited to hear it because I would trust you to be like kind of a straight shooter, and to have like an interesting take on it. And I think that would,
Yeah, it's going to come down to how much it either bothers or endears you with the references to other works.
Yeah,
I think that's probably it. But yes,
my favorite Sun Eater is Demon in White.
Mine is Howling Dark. Pretty sure. Like I remember thinking Demon in White was close, but the more I think about it, and I know everyone hates like Howling Dark's beginning, but I didn't, and I just really like some of the like Karn and stuff, like all that stuff's really cool.
So the stuff that I like the most in Sun Eater is I don't think it's anyone else's favorite stuff. I like the court politics.
Interesting.
So like when he is on Forum, he's dealing with the Emperor, and he's like being let in on secrets, and there's like conspiracies happening and stuff like that. Those are my favorite parts of this. I actually think Christopher does a very good job of depicting the kind of inner workings of like the royalty there, and the way that it like the way it plays out politically and stuff. I think that's actually one of his strengths. Where I don't love the big battles.
Yeah, I'm actually battle fatigued in the series.
So
I'd agree with that.
And I kind of feel like he puts battles in at parts. Oh, it's time for the battle. Is basically how I feel like when I'm reading them, and so I kind of tend to read those very quickly. But the court intrigue stuff I think is better, and I think part of the reason I didn't like Disquiet Gods as much is because you would be able to. There was a lot more opportunities for that court intrigue that then would kind of get shuffled over because it changes settings a couple of times. Like there's a lot of travel in the book and stuff. Yeah. The opening of Disquiet Gods rules though, because you get to see a place that you would we've heard about for like a very, very long time, and so you get to see it.
Okay,
so,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the biggest things I struggle with is the fact that I never really bought in on the crew aspects.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like the supporting cast does nothing for me.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Well,
that
I mean,
did.
He took care of that problem.
Yeah, I think it's actually a struggle I have with a lot of like crew-based sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a big fan, but actually I really like the Expanse crew.
Yeah. So I had actually before I got rid of my TV, so years ago, I had watched the first couple of seasons of The Expanse.
I like it.
And I liked it. The reason, for some reason, I just think that these first couple opening pages of Leviathan Wakes just feel interminable to read. Like when
really?
I'm just kind of like, I just don't give a shit at all about this.
And
I know it's gonna get better. I know it'll go in interesting places. I know people I respect like it. I just like haven't been able to. Yeah.
For me, I would not be upset if someone said they liked the TV show more.
Yeah.
But I also have not read the books that are past the TV show yet, which I've heard is some of the best stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I feel like the general consensus I always just see about The Expanse is that it's like delightfully mediocre, which is fine. But I really liked the show. Okay. Like I really got into it. It was also part of like the sci-fi rebranding, which was really fascinating at the time. You don't have a television, so you probably don't know about this, but they wanted to be a legit channel. So they invested in a couple different shows, one of them being The Expanse, and that was the only one that worked.
Interesting.
Which was very cool. And then they said, forget it, we're doing Sharknado 6, and then Prime took over The Expanse because they couldn't afford it anymore. But
I see.
Ross said, is Sun Eater approachable for someone newish to sci-fi? I've read Dune and a few other more recent sci-fi, but I've not dived too deep in the genre. Well, I mean, think about sci-fi, it's a very wide genre like every other genre. So yes, but there's also other types of sci-fi that it is not going to be like at all. So I say yes, but there's just so many things in sci-fi.
I'll be honest, Russ. I don't like this question. It's not no problem with you. I hear this a lot. Like, I'm new to this genre. Is it okay for me to read this? My answer to that is almost 100, always yes, because it's almost always okay for you to just read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say this about like hard works of philosophy too. They're like, I've never read any philosophy, but I really want to read Hegel. This is a mistake. Well, it might be hard, but you could just go read Hegel.
I say this about Malazan.
Yeah, like just go for it. If you want to, if you're interested, just go for it. If it doesn't sound like it's interesting to you, don't force yourself to do it. But most of the time, like no offense to anyone who's ever made a video like this. Some of you might be in this chat. Who knows? You're like, here are my fantasy books for beginners, or like my 12 progression levels of fantasy, something like that. I just don't think you need to think like it's at the risk of being a meme here. It's not that deep.
No, well, also like whatever has you interested in reading is like the thing you should go towards.
Like you could imagine someone who hates science fiction and then reads Book of the New Sun and is like, hot damn, this is my favorite book. But then never wants to go and read other science fiction.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, like you could totally imagine this.
Like, I mean, I can't even imagine how different a read between like In Ascension by, I think it was Martin McInnes, which is a very, very like slice of life, like kind of, I don't want to say hard sci-fi, but very sciencey, very dry, and then show them Jack Vance's Dying Earth. I mean, it's like
it's night and day.
Yeah. So it's so hard to say this is like a definitive entry point or something. But Joanna wants to know any favorite book of the new Sun book. It's Sword of the Lictor for me.
I can't separate them. Yeah,
I'd say it's either Claw or Sword for me.
I cannot separate them, but yeah.
Though the end, I mean, I love the ending too. But I remember Sword of the Lictor being kind of like where I was like, okay, this is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So, so you did like the start of
I like the start of Disquiet Gods.
Cool.
And there's like Disquiet Gods kind of feels like there are multiple parts of the stories. And also I think Christopher would agree with this, by the way. So it's even better. Like here, so it's not too much of an insult. It really felt like he kind of knew where he needed to be to tell book 7 as he wanted to tell it. So he would be like, all right, we got to go here now and get that part done.
Yeah.
And now we got to go here, which is very common for penultimate books.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you know that word, penultimate?
I did.
Okay.
Thank you. You know where I learned it? Television.
Oh, wow.
Holly said, I just tried to read Blindsight as a newbie and I was so confused. I mean, Blindsight, Peter Watts is a very intelligent guy, but also such a different type of person that I don't necessarily think the density or maybe the confusion is sci-fi related as much as it's Peter Watts related, if that makes sense. I happen to love Blindsight. I think Peter Watts is fascinating, but if you even listen to him do talks about like environmental dangers and stuff, sometimes he's just one of those people, he's talking a mile a minute and you're like, what? Like, what were we talking about? Yeah. He's hard to follow, I think. And I think he writes in that same way too. So Ross said totally fair answer. So you did not gain a new enemy, which is good. When will we get an Ursula K. Le Guin tier list?
I don't know if I have any interest in doing that.
No? I actually, maybe this is me being, I guess a general viewer or whatever. I actually love tier list, dude.
I know you do. I know
you really do.
You like these like format videos.
I do.
Yeah.
When they're done well.
Yeah. The one thing is I haven't read every Ursula K. Le Guin novel, and I need to read all of them to do it properly. The problem with Le Guin is that she is just so heavily loved for like 3 books. So
that's true.
So any of the other books, like who gives a damn about where like the Orsini like stories fall into the tier list, except for like the real Le Guin heads. But to be honest, there aren't that many real Le Guin heads. There are people who really like a couple of her books. I don't meet a ton of other people who are like, I want to read everything by Le Guin. They exist, but it's just rare.
Yeah, I can see what you mean by that. But I mean, there might also be people wondering, like, there are going to be some people out there, I swear this is true, that don't know she wrote more than 3 books.
Yeah.
Like I told you about the George R. R. Martin thing.
Yeah.
You're like, he's never been able to finish a story. And I'm like, that's embarrassing.
She's like, I think maybe 6 Library of America volumes.
Yeah, I have like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that doesn't include the Earthsea books.
Yeah, because the one I have is World of Wars Forest and Dispossessed. It's like a dual thing. By the way, those Library of America books, I think they're fantastic because they usually include essays.
Yeah.
And if you're someone who is interested in like the lineage of the genre, like the Octavia Butler one is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Lathe of Heaven may be my favorite. I loved Lathe of Heaven. Man, Moyd and me are on the same wavelength right now.
Wow.
I know we disagree on some stuff, but man, tonight we're hitting it. I feel like there are more than 3 beloved Le Guin books. What are your 3? Are you picking?
I might be wrong about the number, but the 3 I was thinking about would be Left Hand of Darkness, Dispossessed, and then I was actually thinking Wizard of Earthsea.
Interesting. I was wondering if you were going to put Wizard on there.
Yeah.
Because Word for World is Forest is also pretty popular.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong about the exact number in there, but there are still a lot of lesser known Le Guin books that a lot of people just ignore. They're wrong to, I think. But yeah. Joanna, good for you. I recently went through most of my tabs in the Dispossessed, and my love for that book has not waned.
Alan told me it was terrible.
I know. He is a disappointment.
Molast27 said, part of the purpose of tier lists like that, though, would be to introduce lesser known books to newer, which is kind of what I said.
Yeah.
I've always enjoyed that. And also, I like to see just how people's brains relate works. Like, for instance, one of the things I would really like to do once I finish up all of Ishiguro's books is to maybe not a tier list, but like a comprehensive video talking about all of his works.
Yeah.
Because he has like shared themes between them, but I happen to actually like some of his newer stuff more than his older stuff.
Interesting.
Which is not
That's not
common
Yeah.
at all. I think Claire and the Sun's magnificent.
Yeah.
I think it's better than Never Let Me Go.
That's true. Actually, I think that's right.
Oh, you agree?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, we are not.
I think
it's not a popular
I think
opinion.
Never Let Me Go is.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's underdeveloped in some key places. But,
yeah, I think he kind of well, I won't go too much into it, but I think he might have lost some of his focus in it, whereas Claire and the Sun felt very focused. Also, I think Claire and the Sun's a more interesting premise and more relevant to today.
Yeah.
But Never Let Me Go was super relevant when it came out, like super relevant.
Yeah.
So I imagine it hits different for the people who read it at that time period. So Evie said Earthsea is the most emotionally impactful for me. I really love the Earthsea books. I've read 4 of them. I'm at the point where I should read the short story collections, which I've heard are awesome. But
I'm going to verify the order of those books before I say this comment.
Ariel Ray said, just pop in to ask an important question. If you hate The Left Hand of Darkness, would you like any other Le Guin sci-fi books? So in my experience, I think that it is possible that you could. I think. Oh, Holly just read Claire and the Sun and loved it. That makes me happy.
So you've read Tehanu then?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Interestingly,
or Tombs. I like Tombs.
Tehanu, written in 1990, I want to make sure it was the 4th book, is the first time Le Guin says she ever wrote a woman.
Yeah.
So she thinks that basically everything else, every other woman she wrote in her fiction, she says was a man.
Yeah, and she said she learned how to write like a man because all the authors that she ever emulated or loved.
you'll find Le Guin say, she's like, I am a man, and by that she means she was like socialized into like literature as a man, and it took her until 1990 to write a woman.
And Tehanu is a very angry book.
Yeah.
I think it's the best so far. Yeah. I really like Tombs of Atonement, but it has a whole lot more to do with the little bit of a twist it has, but also the atmosphere of the tombs. Yeah. I think that stuff's really cool. Yeah. Almost like monkish with the people that are there. I think that's pretty interesting. Yeah. But I mean,
you should Le Guin's a really interesting case because she was pretty much Ariel, I'm not sure which question you said. Answer my question. I have no idea. But she was like a full-time caregiver too for her kids, like for multiple kids while writing.
Oh, interesting.
And so she kind of had to balance being a mom and.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ariel asked if she didn't like Left Hand of Darkness.
Oh,
could she like other sci-fi?
I think so, but but I don't know. It depends on what you didn't like about it, right? Like that's.
I think it's worth just trying another one. Though.
I would try another.
They're also so short.
And maybe just like go read The Lathe of Heaven, which is like gonna be totally outside of the heinous cycle stuff. Mm-hmm. Just go do that. And that's more like a PKD book than it is like a normal Le Guin.
Yeah. Somebody who said, where should I start with Ishiguro? I think... So he's one of these unique authors where I think you can kind of start anywhere. I kind of like the idea of publication order for him because Pale View of Hills, while it's a very interesting book, I think it's his most flawed that I've read. I really like that book, though. But I don't know if you could... I don't think there's a bad book to start. I think my first was either Clara or Remains, but just pick one. I would pick one of the ones that are more notable, like as I can't speak to like the Floating Artist or whatever it is, or I know Unconsoled is his most experimental. Probably the one I'm going to end up loving the most. I'm probably going to read that or Buried Giant next. Ariel said, I love the first Earthsea book. I need to read more.
Then just read the rest of the Earthsea books.
Yeah, the Earthsea books are great.
Because if you like the first one, you'll like them all, I think.
Big range to them.
Yeah, but like very similar tonally and stuff. So
yeah, a lot of people talk about like Harry Potter growing up with its readers, like changing as the readers got older. And I think that Earthsea actually does that too, which is pretty interesting. Like Tehanu is a very different book than the rest of them. And for that, some people don't like it. But to me, I was just kind of in awe of it. Fever said, I think I started reading fantasy all proper like when Malazan was explicitly not recommended in these proto-tier list, a la beginners to experts fantasy. Chose it because anthropology and the lulls in it. And that's why I've always said, like, if you want to read Malazan, you could just read Malazan because, especially if you're coming to fantasy, you have no preconceived notions of what a fantasy book should be, which I think is one of the biggest chains locking down the genre in general. Is what people think like, oh, you have to have an established magic system or whatever it might be. When in reality, I think we'd be better off if it was just a genre of imagination. Yeah.
If I wanted a magic system, I'd play D&D.
Have you tried Lit RPG?
I read about 10 pages of Cradle. And
How was it?
It's garbage.
Will White's a big fan of the show. We're sorry, Will. Sorry, Bill.
I just, I was like, wow, let's put it this way. I got it in one of those things where he was giving away his books, and you get what you pay for.
Oh, man. Well, we lost the Cradle sponsor. His Kickstarter, they were going to sponsor the next episode. They were actually going to sponsor episode 100.
You're going to get a leather-bound edition of Cradle.
I was going to get a leather-bound edition of
You got a fireplace downstairs.
Gee, it doesn't work. I think there's a squirrel in it.
Okay.
I've been hearing something scratching.
Maybe the squirrel will be a Cradle fan.
Might be. Might find his nut. Penny, The Unconsoled is like a fever dream. That's what I've heard. I've heard it is wildly different from his other stuff, but also probably the one people like most people who like Never Let Me Go and Remains, they aren't huge fans of The Unconsoled, but people who really like Ishiguro as an author really like The Unconsoled. Pretty excited. Said, how did you first discover each other's channel? This is a great question, actually.
I don't remember if it was the first video from Jimmy's I'd watch, but Jimmy posted a video where he was like, I'm depressed and sad and I'm sorry I'm not making videos. And I just left a comment and it was like, hey man, if you ever want to reach out and talk, you can. It can be hard, but would love to talk sometime if you ever want to, or something like that. And then Jimmy emailed me, and Jimmy's it's like Glenn Ross. He's always closing, because he was like, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for doing this. Do you want to come on the podcast? It was fast. It was fast. But yeah, well, and then we just started talking.
Yeah. I saw you. Way back, one of your first videos, and it was about books. And I do think it was a list of some sort. Yeah. And I just remember you really liked Guin, and I remember you liked The Wheel of Time, and I was like, that's interesting. Oh. And I liked your stuff. And yeah, I didn't talk to you till years later. Yeah. But yeah, you left a comment on that video, which to this day is one of those videos I'm not sure if I am glad I posted. I'm glad because it ended up us talking and becoming friends and stuff. But that was one of the more vulnerable moments I've probably had on a camera, which always feels a little bit weird when you think about thousands of people just watching it, 100 people comment, and then there's there's thousands of people who just watched it and had an opinion. You're they probably think I'm crazy.
170,000 people watched me announce that I got laid off.
I got fired. Yeah. It's very kind of you, though, Jared, to reach out. Very, very, very kind of you. Steve said, I love Dark Souls Arising, book 42 in the Obsidian Mountain series. I love when Bendrath stabs his identical twin, also named Bendrath. Epic stuff.
Steve, I thought that I thought that Obsidian Mountain really kind of fell off after book 41.
Yeah, 41.
So I never got to the Bendrath v. Bendrath.
I didn't like book 45 or 47.
Yeah. But around book 90, it really
picks up. You really start to see what it was all about.
You're only 7.7 million words in, but don't worry, it finally gets good.
Shelf Unstable is here. Said The Unconsoled rules, and that is the person who recommended it to me. Amanda, do you have people like this? Amanda can recommend me a book and 99% chance it's going to work. But if I recommend her a book, it's like a 50-50. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Do you have anyone like that who just knows you, but you can't pin them down?
That's an interesting case, because I recommend you a lot of books, and it's a real 50-50. And you recommend me books, and I don't read them.
That is so accurate, though. It's so accurate.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone that recommends books willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So it makes it even more disrespectful, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've recommended Alan books, and he liked them.
Yeah.
Wow. That's... Yeah. He's...
I have to pay Alan to give it.
He's so far on the spectrum.
Yeah. Someone who I think has never steered me wrong with a book recommendation actually is Steve Donahue. Whenever I've gotten a direct recommendation from Steve, it's been really good. Steve
actually told me to read Killer Angels by Michael Shara, and I have passed that book on to 3 or 4 people, and every single one of them have liked it. And also, it made visiting Gettysburg this past year really a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Great book. Moit said, still waiting for my invite, Jimmy. Moit, I have literally wanted you on since I started this show, but I think I remember hearing you say somewhere that you didn't like live streams. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I had a false memory, but if you're willing, dude, yeah, dude, I would love to talk to you. I've always wanted to talk to you. I just never wanted to be a bother. So if we can absolutely make that happen, I would love that. It's a shame it's taken 97 episodes for this to come. But yeah, dude, massive fan.
I think you got another super chat down there.
Wait, did I?
Yeah, gotta go to the bottom.
Oh, Padrismo, dude. Can you steal man Steve Donahue's BroTube takes? Thanks for the 2 spots. Very kind of you. Steel man, is that like the sound argument, like the foolproof argument? Is that what that is?
Yeah, steel man's like the strong it's like the opposite of a straw man. Where a straw man is like a caricature of it. This is like the way I understand Steve's position about BroTube books is that there's a certain class of books which are not liked for what they actually contain on the page, but for what they allegedly communicate about the reader in reference to him being deep, thoughtful, intellectual, and masculine. And that these books are particularly odious because it takes away from the actual reading experience and actual discussions of literature, and is basically a form of like identity politics, but for dudes of a certain persuasion. I think that's what Steve is getting at. The problem is many of the books that he calls BroTube books are pretty good. So.
But you've been swayed a little bit because like you don't like Blood Meridian anymore, right?
No. It's that it wouldn't be as high on my list, but I still like Blood Meridian.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you like about it?
Pretty much everything. I like the language. I like the violence.
It's very Texas of you.
Yeah.
You ever go across the border?
I don't take a knife though. But I'm just thinking about other.
Sounds
books
like
here.
the Dispossessed. It's really
the Dispossessed rules. The Dispossessed, great. And Steve likes the Dispossessed, by the way. He doesn't like it as much as the Lave of Heaven, which is his favorite, but he likes the Dispossessed. He just says that it and Left-Hand Darkness are a touch overwritten. He said that to me once.
I think there are a lot of books overwritten that I love, so I never like if someone says Tad Williams is a little bit overwritten, or maybe wildly over, I'd be like, you know what, fair. But I really like the way he writes, so I like the writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends on how it kind of vibes with you. K Fox said, "Hey, that's the video I started being a patron." I believe that's the one you're referring to when I filmed on the couch downstairs and my grill was in the background, and someone said, "Oh my gosh, you use propane? You should use charcoal." And I was like, "That's what you took out of that video?" No, I'm just kidding. I can't remember who said that. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody. Maybe it was. It doesn't matter. It was funny though. I actually laughed, and I remember that comment specifically. Red Fury Book said, "I'm late to the stream, but congrats on the book deal, Jared." And some people are finding out for the first time that you got a book deal.
Oh yeah, thank you.
He's actually texting his agent right now.
Yeah, get me out of here.
Yeah, he really steered you wrong with this one.
Yeah.
Very
Thank
much
you,
so.
Thank you very much, folks.
Ariel said, "I have yet to read a Cormac McCarthy book. Which one would you either recommend the most?" I mean, that's a hard question because he's, yeah, maybe No Country for Old Men. Actually, I think that's perfectly fair. I think.
I read The Road first, and I thought it was great. So.
Yeah, I think I was going to say The Road. I was also going to say what's the All the Pretty Horses.
Oh, okay.
But that is kind of a trilogy.
I think John.
Wow.
1/3 of J.A.J. Minton.
Look at this.
So
Look at
just
this.
J. M is here, and he likes All the Pretty Horses. Thank you very much, John.
John, good to see you. We were chatting about how much we enjoy you over a Philly cheese roll.
Yeah.
That took far too long to come out of the kitchen.
It did take a really long
but
time.
it was really good.
I called you effusive.
Effusive. What's that mean?
He is one who effuses.
Oh, duh. Why didn't I think of that? Yeah. I read Blood Meridian first. I think I read The Road first, but Blood Meridian was second, and then it was my third because I read it again.
It's not a terrible thing. Hey, by the way, guys, before we end this live stream, I don't know when we're gonna go. I mean, it's only 6:20. We could keep going for hours. Who knows? Do you guys want to do another patron pick? We've got
No.
We've got the.
I'll do a patron pick for you.
Let's see. Here, pull up your patron pick, and I'll read a book from your patron list.
All right, let me pull it up on my phone. It's easier that way. All right, you're gonna read something from my patron list. Is this right?
Yeah, David. So I have recently actually been convinced that veganism is morally obligatory, and I admittedly compromised on my principles.
Oh yeah, I guess I just outed you. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Because
Hey,
my
listen.
buddy Jimmy was like, "This is the best food."
I will say this: you are convicted.
Yeah.
But I also said I'm kind of glad you aren't thinking right now because I wanted you to experience.
But I do actually think it's yeah.
Okay, here we go. Effusive to pour out from Latin fundo to pour. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Do you have the list of the patron books?
I have it on my phone.
Okay, let's do.
All right, here we go.
All right. Let's put it as close to the mic as possible. Number 4.
Number 4. Also, Moyd, have a good night, brother. Good to see you. Also, Amanda agrees with you. Yes, and by the way, definitely your people reach out. My people should probably reach out to your people. You're going to love this.
Okay.
Is number 4 from Kyle E.
Okay.
The Night by Gene Wolfe.
Oh, hell yeah.
That is so unfair.
Yeah, sweet. I'll read that.
I
yeah.
wanted you to get the wandering in.
Okay.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, no. All right, sweet. I'm going to read the night soon. Yeah.
So what if I told you I've already read 120 pages of it? So I could probably finish it with you.
Of the night. Okay, yeah. Great.
So Kyle E, congrats. You just got an impromptu patron pick for, future best-selling author Jared Henderson at 600,000 subscribers on YouTube. The fact that you pulled Gene Wolfe, you know what number 5 was? I Who Have Never Known Men.
Nice.
like literally,
Yeah.
Some people have all the luck. Like you get fired, your channel blows up. Like, what did you do? Like, did you sell your soul?
No, I just how do I put this? I guess I am just loved by God.
So you're saying people who are unfortunate are not loved by God?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
And it's 601,807 right now.
What's your revenue at?
Do you really want? I'll show you the number.
Yeah,
Do you want to see?
let me see the number.
Do you want to see for the last 28 days or for August so far?
Let's see August.
Well, I'm not going to show them.
Why not?
This is August so far, not including yesterday.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and yeah.
Full-time YouTuber, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So, John the Baptist, right?
Uh-huh.
Who taught him how to baptize? Did he come up with it? Was he the original baptizer?
Oh no, there was a lot of baptism as purification rituals.
Okay.
That I think at the time lots of different sects of Judaism were practicing something like that.
Okay. Do you know where it originated?
No, but there are even,
I feel it's probably pre-Christianity.
There are even Old Testament references of going into the wall, the river for purification and stuff like this.
Yeah, maybe not dubbed baptism at that point.
Yeah, but it was it had kind of become a thing. It has a history basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's probably pre-Christianity?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I think it also just kind of makes sense. If you're thinking about developing society, you go into the water, you come out clean. It's just a very obvious.
Yeah. Cavalier and Clay. Actually, I was Brandon. I was trying to convince, or I was just telling Jimmy about Cavalier and Clay over lunch today, and telling him about how much I love it.
Yeah, and he said that I should read it.
Yeah, I love Cavalier and Clay.
We might go to the bookstore.
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah, I think that would be
because I kind of want to pick up some of these. Damn, why does Jimmy look like a giant? Because I am.
He was also it's a camera trick. You kind of learn this in the biz, as we call it. Positioning, lighting. Notice that way he's got that kind of angle to him and stuff. You see,
right.
That as soon as I did that, I was twice the size of Jimmy.
See, I can just lat flare. You see,
Yeah.
Up here, probably pagan origins, like all the other stuff. I mean, I would say that's most likely not wrong. I just think that's interesting because he's the Baptist. Was he the best at it?
In Eastern Orthodoxy, he's not called John the Baptist.
What is he called?
He's called Saint John the Forerunner.
That sounds like a character from a Blade Runner ripoff.
No, but it's
a Forerunner is a vehicle.
Yeah, but it's literally the one forerunning, making it's a reference to the book of Isaiah. I will send a forerunner to make straight the path. Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, it's a cooler name in my opinion.
Alan said, "I bet the August number was more than my annual salary." I can actually confirm it was.
Not annual salary.
It's close. Belltube said, "The hell when did this start? I was not contractually informed. This is a bonus episode. This almost just went on the Patreon.
Yeah,
I don't have Patreon episodes. I should though. I should.
Yeah, that would be good. David says compares this to like Legolas and Gimli, and unfortunately, I'm just not quite.
I feel like I'm Aragon.
I'm not fast enough here, but I was trying to think like I never thought I would fight side by side like with an elf or whatever. And you're like, what about with a friend? But for me, you would be like, I never thought I would fight side by side with a very successful YouTuber, and I would look at you and say, I never thought I would sit side by side with a failure.
How about a failure?
But I couldn't get the format right quickly enough, and I haven't watched those movies in years. So
Jake said it's not Jimmy who's large, it is Jared who is small and small-minded.
yeah.
Is small-minded offensive?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But I mean, as in I was offended. I don't know if it's offensive to other people.
Aren't the Forerunners the creatures from Halo?
What's that movie?
Jimmy, you are one of the Eagles. Ooh, I love this question. Favorite mediocre book?
Any Sanderson book I ever liked.
Okay.
Yeah. Favorite mediocre book?
I got one.
That's a really good question. It depends on what I think about what I mean by mediocre. But yeah, what do you?
Mine's easy. I mean, you could probably even go below mediocre, possibly, but it's Rage of Dragons.
Oh, okay.
I love that. The book was just pure adrenaline and didn't make a ton of sense. When you really break it down, it had one of the worst sex scenes of all time. But I'll be damned if I didn't just love a good vengeance tale. I just really enjoyed it.
I think this would be like a little bit controversial, but I think that there are some mediocre Discworld books. I think the series as a whole is amazing, but there are a few where they kind of fall short. And the thing is, I happen to like them all, even if they are mediocre. Like Pyramids, is kind.
I hear that one on the mediocre list a lot.
It's kind of mediocre, but I do like it. Yeah.
Rage of Dragons was incredible. Hey, I loved it.
That's a lot of exclamation points for that opinion.
I mean, it was just fun. I had a good time. It's like a training montage almost. Like the whole time. It's just like, you wronged me. I'm literally going to go through hell.
It's like fantasy Rocky.
It's like fantasy Dragon Ball Z kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Instead of the hyperbolic time chamber, though, it's like a demon world where you're like eaten alive repeatedly, which I kind of loved. Just an internal training arc. Yes. Yes. Yeah, but I hear Pyramids a lot.
Yeah.
Also, Joanna said she knew I was going to say Rage of Dragons. Interesting. And also, Alan, who's a huge Discworld fan, said he agrees with you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Discworld book?
Ooh.
Because you don't like Small Gods.
Well, no, I like Small Gods. I just don't love Small Gods. Let me just name a couple, and then we can kind of narrow it down a little bit.
Okay.
I really like Going Postal, Equal Rights, Men at Arms, which is the second City Watch book, Night Watch, Mort, Hogfather, Reaper Man.
So you really like the Death Arc.
I like at least a good number of those. And I love basically all the City Watch books, but I've already named my favorites from those. I'm trying to think of any of the other ones that I really like. No, those would probably be kind of on the list. It'd be hard for me to pick just one from that, though.
Have you read Nation?
Nation? Is that a Discworld?
No, it is not.
Okay,
It's
different.
It's actually the one I've been recommended to read outside of Discworld, like the most recommended one.
By Terry Pratchett? Or?
Yeah.
Oh no,
I think it's like 400 pages though.
No, yeah, I've never read it. Yeah.
So far for me, Small Gods. I haven't finished it, obviously. And it's kind of on pause, unfortunately, because I got some stuff I have to get done. But man, I'm really loving it.
Yeah.
I just love the God. He's
so
funny.
Yeah.
I think it's easily the funniest Discworld book to me. Like,
interesting. Yeah.
I mean, I've always found it pretty funny,
Yeah.
but like I've actually more so enjoyed the stories of it and some of the writing.
Yeah. Have you read Hogfather?
No.
Okay.
It's
you should read it right before Christmas.
Soul Music is technically the next one I have. I read Reaper Man.
Yeah.
But Soul Music, I'm always apprehensive about like music driven stuff. That's why Armageddon Rag is probably the George R. R. Martin book I'm least excited about reading.
So Derry or Alan could correct. Other people could correct me too. I mean, who gives a shit? But I think if you really wanted to, you could just read Hogfather. You wouldn't have to read Soul Music.
Okay. I mean, I own it, so I'll read it sometime.
And Hogfather is just great. I like to read Hogfather. I read it right before Christmas, and it's a good time.
That's
for
what
it.
everyone says. It's a
And you
Christmas book.
just read it on Christmas. It's very delightful and very funny. It's very, very funny.
I think I'm gonna throw that in, and then I want to continue his Dark Materials around Christmas
okay,
too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like that series.
I read the first book, really liked it.
Yeah.
Was supposed to continue last year. And
It's
didn't.
kind of got a shitty ending.
Really
Like just like it doesn't really stick the landing.
Now, did you
in
read
my
the
opinion.
sequels
Like after the
third book?
no, I haven't read that.
So I think he just released the final book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And from what I read, I heard people really excited about it. So
Yeah, I like.
I've heard the sequel's more adult.
I like them though. I like there's a sense of like reality to like the world building in that series that I think is pretty nice.
Do the anti-religious themes bother you at all?
No,
No, I don't think. I thought from first book, I thought it was fine.
no, I thought they were fun.
Yeah, talking animals.
There are some parts of it that are like kind of comically mischaracterizing things.
Yeah.
In service of like a point, but like if I objected to every time a book got something wrong about anything, for the sake of the message, I'd be objecting all the time. Yeah.
I mean, that's one of my biggest issues with Sunset Limited, even though I love it.
Yeah.
I think McCarthy is actually kind of doing it disjustice to like nihilism I think it's too like
Interesting. Yeah.
stereotypical almost.
Oh, interesting.
Have you read Sunset Limited?
No, I have not.
Oh,
Okay.
we should read it on live because it's a script.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
You
yeah.
you could be the man trying to save my life, and I'll be
Okay.
the nihilist that wants to kill himself.
Is there a femme fatale? I could do that part too.
I think you could, honestly. I think you would do a hell of a job.
yeah.
Someone asked if I've seen His Dark Materials, the TV show. I have. I watched the first season, and I thought it was tremendous, and I was kind of confused why it wasn't more popular. Like, it's really well done. With that said, I didn't watch season 2, but that's kind of my thing.
There are moments that happen in the book that I knew I was not going to be able to watch on TV.
Because you don't own one.
Well, I think I'd watched a little bit on my laptop. That because it came out.
Right after Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so
Like a year after?
Yeah, so like I watched like a little bit, and there are like parts of it that I just knew I was not going to be able to watch.
Because it's dark?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I haven't got to that part then.
Wait, when you read the first book, right?
Yeah.
So you know the part where like the little boy that they find there.
Got you.
And I feel like now thinking back to that, like after having a kid, like thinking about like those kids, like has like really. Here's one thing that happens when you have kids, folks, is that it happened to me, and I assume my experiences are representative of the entire world. Is that when you have children, any kind of like violence towards children or like emotional damage to children in fiction becomes like way more palpable. Like it hurts like a lot more.
I feel like that.
It really changed like how I view that stuff.
But it should probably hurt no matter what.
Well, yeah, but like you could be like, oh, that's sad, right?
Okay,
Oh, that hurts.
I got you.
But it went up to went up to 11, which is like one more than 10, and
Well, that's the problem with humans, though. We don't acknowledge it until it's happening to us.
but like
I mean,
but
that's-
the intensity of it it like can make me almost feel physically ill.
wow.
Yeah,
I'm that way with specifically violence towards cats.
interesting.
Just because I have so much love for my animals.
Including your one really shitty cat that hates people.
Well, hey, he's shitty to everyone else, but he loves me.
yeah.
He loves me. But yeah, there's actually a Murakami book apparently where like there's cat violence, and I can't read it. Like I just won't.
There is a like there are two rules at Jimmy's house for guests. It's to be comfortable and to not touch one of his cats.
It's true.
And yeah,
Anyone who's ever been in my house believes this. I love Christopher Hitchens. I'm not saying I agree with everything Hitchens ever said, but
I like Chris.
to say that he was not charismatic would be to deny reality.
I like his memoir.
He's also a pretty talented writer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good. Yeah,
Yeah. Whether or not his arguments are
he's
sound,
not
whatever.
that deep. But he actually admits that in one of his in his book on mortality. I think he says like that he sacrificed depth for breadth in his life.
Yeah, he basically admitted that he was trying to win, like, favor almost. With
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
he would take a cheap shot on
Yeah, yeah,
purpose,
yeah.
which, ironically, I don't know if that's that unpopular of a thing to do. I think no matter what side you're on, you're kind of looking for that.
I do it all the time.
We do it to each other all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually think that his well, Gavin said, "Oh, the urge to touch the cat would be too strong." He's very cute,
Gavin, if you saw this cat, he's got evil in his eyes.
and his paws are very big.
And the other cat is cute in a very different way, but this one cat you're not allowed to touch is he looks evil. I've never seen a cat look at me with such hatred, and
Yeah.
I did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you do kind of give off that energy a little bit.
I get it.
Like, can we trust him?
Yeah.
Does he have drugs in his bag?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Cat Lady Book Nook Penny said, I agree about read violence against cats. Yeah, it's brutal for me for some reason. But we've been doing it for about 2 hours. We drew a nice crowd, nice house. Thanks for the house, Jared. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Are you familiar with this term?
Thanks for the house. Is this like a wrestling thing where if you can draw the crowd, like
you're supposed to go up in the locker room and say thanks for the house?
Yeah, I see.
Like if Flair was on a show, I'd go up and say thanks for the house.
Yeah, I see. Wow.
But it kind of turned into like a joke. So you would thank the shittiest wrestler for the house.
Oh, okay.
So you go up to the worst wrestler in the room and go,
so
hey.
I should say to you, thanks for the house.
Yeah, exactly. You say, hey, thanks for the house.
Yeah.
And I sent that to you the other day. And I was like, he probably doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about.
No, I feel like I know more than like the average dude about like weird wrestling stuff, but like way less than the average person who has wrestled.
That makes sense.
So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot with the internet nowadays, there's a lot of people who think they like know it all, like the lingo, everything. But there's so much that is like archaic, I guess you could say, and it's all pulled from like carnyism. It's very carny.
That's actually what I like about wrestling is more this weird culture that's based out of like basically a prolonged like thing from like carnies and like vaudeville in a way that we've like lost in a lot of areas. Like you don't have vaudeville comedians anymore,
right?
But there's kind of a line you could trace to wrestling.
Still
has that
traveling show.
In a way that we just don't see.
Yeah, and it's also like, everyone come together to this one place to hear a story, but it's actually multiple stories, which is kind of interesting with different characters. It's really still to this day kind of a very unique thing. You don't see traveling shows that much anymore that aren't music acts. I did see your Pastel City recommendation, Colton, and I think it's already on my TBR. I'm pretty sure.
Hopefully we're going to go to a bookstore. I'm going to look for The Spear Cuts Through Water.
Yes.
I already own The Night, actually, so I'll read that when I go back to Texas. And, you guys will just have to take it on faith that I read it. But I love Gene Wolfe, so it's like no.
Yeah, I feel as if that's a layup for you, which is annoying.
Everybody wish me good luck like David did on my business opportunity tomorrow.
Big opportunity.
Yeah. I'm meeting a very important man in Washington, D.C. I'm just saying that his last name starts with a T.
Oh, Jesus. God.
I didn't say anything. It's true. It's true. It's true. And this guy doesn't own a Cybertruck.
If that was true, you wouldn't be in my
the guy I'm meeting, his name does start with a T.
Stop it.
It's true. It is true. There are other people whose names start with a T.
Yeah, okay. I get it.
Benito Mussolini.
Jeff Teague, really good point guard. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here on episode 97. Back-to-back Jared episodes. I promise it's get better from here, I hope. Jared, thanks for flying across the country to hang out with me.
Just for this, yeah.
Yeah, just literally just for this.
This is what it made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, at least you got something else out of it. Because if tomorrow's a disaster, at least you had some good Indian food.
I haven't had that Indian food yet, man. If this Indian food sucks,
there's no chance. Like, this would be one of those times where it's objective.
Yeah, okay.
There's an objectivity in this.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah,
all
see?
Right. Yeah.
You got to use their weapons against them, If you like it, hit like. If you dislike it, dislike. I'm going to do more like this, so hit subscribe. Patreon in the description. It's optional, but always appreciated. Until we see you next time, be good, be safe, and remember always
to keep turning the page.
Boom.